Hey, Nikki.
Hello.
All right.
I made it.
Awesome. And I think I was talking to the audience without them hearing me. I didn't know. I thought they could hear me without me putting my camera up there. So,
Oh,
because I was telling them while we're waiting on Nikki, take advantage of this time and share this around. So, well, here we are, everybody. So, if you didn't hear me when I was talking to myself, I'm sorry. Oh man, that's what I get for
silly.
drinking Crown Royal before I start. So,
Uh-oh.
I only had a little bit.
It only takes a little bit.
I know, right? Let me get
Okay.
myself situated here.
Let me start sharing this around.
Trying to turn my camera on. There we go.
Nope. There you go.
All right. So you guys, for the last few podcasts, you guys see that I've been putting the online flyer up there. I've been trying to do this at the beginning of each podcast. I will be continuing to do this leading up to the event for promoting and advertising of the event. One thing I do want to make mention of the flyer, if there is anybody that's willing to volunteer, I will send this flyer to your messenger. If you're willing to print it out, make a few copies to share around, to post publicly, uh, let me know, and I'll be glad to get that set up with you. Um, and let's see. So I will be sharing this again, probably at the halftime of the podcast, and then before we jump off. So if you missed this flyer, if there's any information you want to write down about this or copy this, if you could save this. If you're on Facebook, whatever, you could save this to your own device. Any image on Facebook, you could save. Um, so you could download, save, and then you could print it out, send it to your email, put it on your laptop, whatever how it works out best for you. So take advantage of that. And any help as far as sharing and promoting is very much appreciated. There's going to be a few things we're going to get into talking tonight. However, there's also we're going to be doing some trivia tonight, and with trivia, with that being said, trivia or the questions that we'll be asking, they're going to be a chance for you to win tickets to the event. Now, I know I like to make it fun. I like to give everybody the opportunity to answer, but I want to make a point on this. The questions are for those. Now, a lot of people are probably going to know these answers to the questions. Um, However, I prefer to have the ones that plan on wanting to really attend this event answer these questions. Let them have the opportunity to try to win these tickets. If you don't plan on coming or can't be there, definitely keep the responses, the answers to yourself, if that makes any sense. I want to try to make this fair. Um, I have a couple of questions lined up. Maybe Nikki might line something up afterwards. I'm not sure what she has, but we're not going to start the trivia quite yet. And also, the other thing is the way I want to do the trivia questions. When I ask the questions, um, they're going to be. How do I want to say this? Um, I'm trying to think how soon I should start to do the questions. What do you think, Nikki? Should I wait till almost the halftime mark for the questions out there?
Yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it's also going to be the first response. Whoever has the answer correctly first, whoever's quick to throw the answer up there, because I'll be watching the live chat the best I can. Nikki will be watching. So the first one to come up with a response, if it's correct, then then you get the win. There may be multiple correct answers, but again, it's the first response that I see. To me, that's the best way to keep it fair. Um, so your interaction on the live chat is going to mean everything. So, um, now before we get into all that, yeah, I agree with Nikki. I think we're going to wait till the halftime, which is about 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We'll use that halfway mark to throw out questions. And again, immediate answers first. The first correct response, um, will win a set of tickets. And we're not going to just ask one question. Others, there'll be multiple chances to win. Um, saying the same person can't win more than once, so which that makes sense. All right,
Chrissy
Philip Wright.
Sci-Fi. Hello, girly.
All right. Bobcat Wong is on here, everybody. Bobcat Wong is sick with the flu. My parents been sick all week with the flu, so and a lot of people
Uh,
are pretty sick. Michael Miller, thank you very much, for sharing in your group.
Scary with everything that's going on with the flu.
Oh, I know. Uh, oh, thank you very much, Donald. Very much appreciated. Uh, let's see what else we got here. Phaloja. I don't know if I'm saying that right.
Where?
It's a comment from the YouTube. Hello from Brazil. Oh wow, all the way from Brazil. But always been
Awesome.
absolutely, yeah. He said always been fascinated by Sasquatch. Cool, North County Bigfoot. Hey y'all. All right. So yeah, we got some pretty interesting people here from YouTube. See, because that's interesting. I'm still learning a lot of the YouTube names because there's a lot of new subscribers on the channel, which
Mm-hmm.
that's awesome. Um, Kelly Ray Jones, what's up? All right. Um, so I think what I want to do to start off, um, I have a couple questions I wrote down, and these I have nothing to do with the trivia. There's a couple things I wanted to ask just for shits and giggles. Um, and then, well, actually, before we get into that, we are going to be talking about Bigfoot photos used by a known hoaxer. That's right. We're going to be talking about a Bigfoot hoaxer today. And Nikki had brought it up to my attention. She's actually shared some images. Um, and then we're going to post those images to show you if you're not familiar with this. We'll get into that here in just a little while. Um, but again, I'm going to start off with some questions here to start off the discussion tonight. And if I overlook your question or your comments, please forgive me. I do have it right here in front of me, so I'm watching it the best I can. But let's put Nikki on the spot. I like putting if whoever's
Of
with me
course.
on the
Of
spot.
course.
So, but it's not the questions. It's a Bigfoot related question, so it should be simple. But um,
Mm-hmm.
so I guess your response will be based on what you could recall with these questions. The first question, I only wrote down two questions, but I figured there would be more than enough to get into conversations with and discussions. First question is, what's the most common Bigfoot related topic that's brought up or discussed? What do you feel that's the most common?
I think more people, the first thing they say is, "What are they?
Mm,
What do you think they are?" And people want
mm,
a definitive answer, but there isn't one. Right now, it's a great big scale of what you believe in and what you feel they are, and if you've seen them, then how you base your knowledge from them. But we don't have any definitive answers other than I think we can all agree if we're here that we agree they're real,
right,
that they exist, that enough of us have seen proof in the way of sightings and footprints that some of them are undeniable, you know, that there's something there. There's really something there, and I find a lot of people to be credible. So and that's on you. You say, "Okay, I believe this person because I feel I know who this person is and they wouldn't lie to me."
right,
So, cuz I've never seen one, but I'm a believer. I'm a big time skeptic of evidence, but I'm still a believer. And
yeah,
but I think that's the number one question that comes up continuously. What do you think they are? What do you think they are? Are they human? Are they human hybrid? Are they alien? Are they North American wood ape? Are they got Gigantopithecus? Are they some other kind of Australopithecus ancestor?
right.
What There's a whole rung of things that could be on that ladder of
Oh,
life.
absolutely. Um,
So,
yeah, you're gonna have people. There's people out there that are gonna tell you what they are and what they're not, what they are not.
mhm.
Of course, these are the self-proclaimed experts with no evidence to say
Right.
what they are, but people are going to believe certain people out there. Now, Jimmy, I saw Jimmy made a thing up. Um, the I believe there's a list of questions or a list of things that are brought up, and I think they could be categorized in or rated from top on the top 10. But here's one. Let me see if this is it. Da, da, da. What did I see? There's so many people started commenting, I lost it. He did ask. I was going to post it, but he did say something about the most commonly asked question to him, and this is me as well. I've been asked this numerous times. Have you ever seen one? You know, because I know
Mhm.
what if you get into talking to somebody, and like for example, you start talking to somebody, discussing with them, hey, this is what I do. This, I go exploring and blah blah blah. Yeah, then somewhere along the line, that question gets popped up in the discussion. Well, have you ever seen one?
Mhm.
So, um, and I'm sure a lot of other Bigfooters, researchers, enthusiasts, all probably experience that question. Um, I think there is a good number of questions out there that or topics that they get raised. Um,
Brandy Kane says they're magical, and she's not from the woo. She says it's okay if you are from the woo. Honestly, I'm to the point where I just take it in. I mean, I'm more on the one side than the other, but um, we keep having that same conversation, right? About why do the prints just pick up and disappear? Why do you hear them one second and you don't the next? What are the reasons for all that? And but so she says magical, and that's good. They can be
hmm,
magical. Um,
okay. It's I guess when it
but
all
it's
comes down to
evidence,
it,
if you believe in having to have solid evidence as some part of your critique, you
right?
know, then magical isn't really part of that because you've got to prove they're magical. It's a whole spiral,
Yes,
in what you believe in. So if you believe that they can go into portals and that they're interdimensional and disappear and cloak or whatever they do, um, then that's your belief. Until you know somebody's going to say, "How do you know? How do you know that?"
right.
Unless you
Yeah,
say, I saw it disappear. And then, you have your knower. You saw what you saw,
yeah.
and you don't back down from that.
Well, with people saying what they say they saw, sometimes I feel, and this is not the case with everybody, but the thought often raises in my mind. Well, people say, "Well, I seen this, I witnessed this," and I still have that question: Are they really seeing what they say they saw? You know,
Mhm.
I mean, we're always going to have that doubt, but we can't call them liars. Some people, if you feel that they are sincere in what they claim, um, that it's become over the years, it has been more. Um, I don't know if this is the right term. Controversial, very debative. Uh, I think I just made that word up, but but anyway, but it's like in some cases it is hard to take people on their word. I mean, there's people that you want to believe, but there's people, especially if there's certain people that 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 you've experienced being with them, and you get to know certain people, then you hear them make these wild, crazy claims, like, "Well, that's crazy. That's BS," and but that kind of goes down to where it takes, what we hear, we have to take it in with a grain of salt. We have to, don't be so quick to assume that they're telling the truth. Even if they're not lying, it could be something else that they experienced that they felt that was real. I
Mhm.
know that's kind of crazy, but so
Right.
it's, yeah, very controversial. I mean, because like I
It
said, there
is.
You know?
It will be. It's not going to change. The only
Yeah.
thing that would ever change that if we actually had a body, you
Right.
know? Um, that's the only thing that would. And nowadays most people say you don't need a body. That's enough evidence in itself that there's sightings and witnesses and the footprints and supposed hair that people have and the supposed DNA that's already been captured and all of that, you know.
Yeah. I wanted to show this up here real quick. I briefly skimmed at this. It's just the only reason I brought this up here on display because Reed Norman has actually brought up some very good statements and points in the past. But let me read this. He says, "I say they're a type of non-human ape. I'm not saying it's definitive, but I say it's the most likely explanation due to what we've gathered from encounters from them, such as rock throwing, whoops, whistles, and a fight and a flight before fight response, which is consistent with non-human apes, mainly gorillas and chimps." I swear, Reed Norman, you sound like me in a lot of what I say all the time. Um, unless you've been copying and reading my blogs or something, I don't know. But I'm just picking. Nah, I agree. I mean, I do because uh, with what you're pointing out, um, I highly agree with you, and let me say why. From some of what you just mentioned in here, these are things I've witnessed or experienced, and I'm not the only one. Multiple people have experienced and witnessed these same things, but to come up with a conclusion, that's where I'm always telling people, and that's why I dismiss the woo because we need to stop and there's before we think outside of the box too much. We need to think what's right in front of us before we try to jump ahead and use the imagination to create other um, you know, possible explanations. Um, so with that being said, um, yeah, these are serious things that people need to consider. Like, what other species is known for doing these? And exactly, you mentioned right there, chimpanzees, gorillas, and other non-human primates. So, um, someone's phone's ringing. So,
Oh, sorry, that was my
yeah.
daughter. She's gonna
Oh
go
no,
pick up
you're
my other
fine. I'm
daughter.
just picking.
This microphone works really well
Yeah, I love it.
because she was way at the door.
Hold on. Reed Norman says, "Hey Daniel, it's just smart minds think
Think
alike."
alike.
um, and now, as you know, with that first question that we threw out there, and some of what we just brought up, it kind of goes into my next question because I had a second question.
Hmm.
Um, let's see. Let me throw this up here real quick. I don't care what people say or think. I saw one, I smell one, and heard one.
Hmm.
I need nobody to prove their existence. I know.
Exactly. You know, that's what you hear from a lot of people who are knowers. You
Right.
know, um, but you're in the minority.
Oh
Most of
yeah.
us haven't seen one. We want to, and then there's the other half that believe we believe in them, but we don't want to see them. You know,
Right.
there's a whole
And
different.
here we are hiking with Sasquatch outlaw Tracy Arnold. Now here's a man who has seen a Bigfoot twice.
Hmm.
Okay, I will never forget his first sighting
Me
because
either.
his reaction and his story, everything, his gestures, body is everything about him basically told that story.
Hmm.
Um, and Tracy, I remember Tracy making a statement too. He said, "My discovery has been made." He says, basically, he's not out there to prove it to everybody else. Even though, he still has passion for this. He still wants to go out there and learn about these creatures so he can share it with other people.
Hmm.
If he gathers and collects other evidence that might help prove it, yeah, he'll still share it. He's going to want to share it. Um, but yeah, Tracy Arnold has made that discovery for himself, and that's
Hmm.
what it's all about. It's exciting too. Tracy's still out there every opportunity, just like like a lot of us. So yeah, I wanted to bring that up. And as Tracy mentions here, it's amazing what people claim as Bigfoot, and they have no idea what Bigfoot really does. And
Hmm.
then he goes on to say, "What do we know?" So
Hmm. You can definitely
Uh,
go back on Hiking with Sasquatch Outlaw and go back to his sightings. You don't see the Bigfoot, okay? What you do is you see his reaction after he's seen one. And his very first one, you just scroll all the way back to the very beginning and it's there. And then his most recent one was a couple of months ago, right? When was it,
on which one is this?
Tracy? The
Uh,
latest one was, when
a
he
few,
was out there with his ladder. All I remember is him throwing the
yeah,
ladder, and you see him running across the.
I think that was a few months ago. Yeah.
Yeah.
Now I got to post this other one up here. I want to know your take on this.
Okay.
Th- This is regarding a very well-known person in the Bigfoot community. So, so this person's claimed
Um,
that Todd Sand has good video footage of them. So
okay.
I'm sure a lot of people are already laughing. So,
Yeah.
so
Um, I I do not believe in any of Todd Standing's pictures. Um, I believe he has seen one, okay? And I think he may even have one of them may be a real footage of, one going up a hill, up the mountain. Might be a real one. But as far as the footage of Blinky and what's the other one they call? I don't remember what they
oh, I
call
don't.
the other
Yeah, I
one.
don't remember.
The up close ones. Um, I don't believe them. Um, when it originally happened, there was a lot of us that went and researched uh, Todd Standing himself. And, at the time he had two production companies. He's has a relative who was a makeup artist.
His wife.
There have been many. Of course, he denies all of this. Okay, so it's just what it is. I'm not. You take it how you want to, but back then, we actually found um, ad in the newspaper asking for actors. So take it for what it's worth. I put two and two together. He's asking for actors. All of a sudden, all this stuff starts coming out. Uh, I just Blinky and Betty Boop. Bobcat says Blinky and Betty Boop.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
but I do think he's out there. He goes out there to Nordak. Okay, he does go out there, and I'll give that to him. He's been out there, and maybe a lot of his counters are real, but I think he enhanced his videos to try to prove that of their existence, you know?
Right.
That's my feeling. Okay? I still think he's fighting uh to make them a legal animal or whatever in BC, and he's still working with Claudia Ackley in California to they have some legislation that they were trying to go through, right now. And
Yeah.
it keeps getting shut down, but it's still going. It is still ongoing, and they are working on trying to get Bigfoot recognized.
Well, if I may jump in there real quick, more power to them. And
Mhm.
Claudia Ackley, bless her heart, she's a sweet woman. But I have to be blunt and honest here. If she is going to be posting and making public statements about her floating into a portal and floating out in midair, her credibility, if the wrong people hear this, they're going to take the whole thing out as a
Mhm.
joke. I mean, people got to stop making these claims and posting these images that don't even look like them.
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
it's not going to help their.
she doesn't care.
Yeah,
She's just posting what she has, and showing what she has. And I've known her for a long time. She used to follow me way back when I had my channel, the Southwest Squatchin channel.
yeah,
But it uh she's sweet. She is,
yeah.
and she has a passion for Bigfoot,
Oh,
you
that's
know.
true.
So, I give her power and credit for that. If she thinks she's doing it the right way, then that's her dealio.
Yeah, I just, don't get me wrong, with Todd and working with Claudia, they want to prove the existence so they could help put Bigfoot on the list to protect them. Their minds in the right place. I will say that much. Their minds are in the right place.
Mhm.
So, um, and the thing is too, back when since we were talking about Todd Standing, and he's been the first time I ever heard him declared or considered as a hoaxer was when I was watching that episode of Finding Bigfoot when Matt Moneymaker, I think he was the one who made the statement. Well, he's a hoaxer, blah blah blah, because it was based off of that footage of that Bigfoot up on the rock ledge that kind of got up and ducked down or whatever. I don't know if you remember that part or not. When they went and met up with Todd Standing on one of their episodes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I'm
That's the
sorry, I
first.
got distracted with a comment on my.
Oh, no, you're fine. But that's the one I remember that Matt Moneymaker made that statement, and I was like,
Yeah.
you know, and then kind of when you're not familiar with certain people in the Bigfoot community, you're like, okay, maybe they know something, this something about it, because we could view a lot of footage and we could all have our own beliefs what's real and what's not real, because what's displayed when it comes to Bigfoot, it's like the politics of today, you know. Oh well, so and so said it's real, so I'm going to believe them. So and so said it's fake, so I'll believe them. Vice
Mhm.
versa. It's the same thing about politics. Dems versus Republicans. The diehard Republicans are going to, or the Democrats are going to believe what they're told to believe without looking at the facts. So I mean, that's how it is with Bigfoot. Same thing in the Bigfoot world. There's people that are going to follow these people because they believe and trust these people. They won't bother looking into they won't bother researching or try to study or research for themselves. They're going to go along with what they're being told.
Right.
It works on both sides. I've seen it, and it's crazy how this world works. But people don't care if it's true or not. If they're told that it's true, they're going to believe it. So that's the
Well, that's
corruption.
the
That's
whole thing that which leads into a good part about the hoaxing thing is that with a little bit of searching, you can find the answers.
oh yeah.
You know, um, should I already go into the Mark Anders thing?
I absolutely feel free to.
Okay.
Yeah.
So recently, I don't know if you've ever heard of the person called Mark Anders. He's famous hoaxer, and we can call him a hoaxer because it's already been proven, and the proof is all online. Google search it. Go to para breakdown. Big fat uh, Bigfoot Tony. He also has
Well,
one called Big Fat Tony.
oh,
He
I
has
was about to
two.
say, I was like,
He
really?
has
Were you about
2.
to call
He
him?
has 2,
I
but
didn't know that one.
the Big Fat Tony one is the one that he calls out people. So
Yeah.
his other one is just where he debunks the videos. And
Oh,
it's
real quick.
with actual back.
Yeah, real quick before you go on, I do have 4 images added from that you sent me. I didn't
Oh, okay.
download
So
everything, but so
go ahead. You can put the one. There's one. That one right there is been going around again. Okay. Now he had this statue guy, and he would take it and to different locations in California where he's at and say, "This one's from Georgia. We found this one in Mexico. We found this one in San Diego." And he would keep on posting that same Bigfoot all in different areas, but they were all in California. See, there that's a perfect image right there where he just kept putting it in different places, and he would say, different things. And Mark Anders had a podcast with a co-host, and they would go and talk about the next video and the next video. And it was all to promote his CGI business. He is a computer generation guy where he could manipulate and transform photos. And he has his own website, excuse me, um, where he would do that.
hmm.
Excuse me.
Yeah, so people take a look at this is a screenshot that's been cropped to show you the different videos that Mark Andrews has on his YouTube channel. Now, take note that each video, as Nikki said, these are different locations that he uses, but look at the same image in every video. I mean,
Mhm.
it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure this out. So, And then in one clip, if you look at this image that I have up here right now, the one you could see the image of that he uses of Patty from the Roger Patterson footage
Mm-hmm.
in on the thumbnail image of that video. And I briefly looked at it before I did this. If you look it up, he has Patty versus whatever his Bigfoot.
Mm-hmm.
So they do a comparison basically. Um, the thing is, we know that his Bigfoot is fake. Um, thing is, I don't know why he's using Patty. Because even though a lot of people believe Patty is real, um, even though it hasn't been proven to be not real, so it is everybody's own conclusion. So, but as far as Mr. Mark Anders, yeah, there's a lot of his images that are floating around, um, that people are sharing. That's why I believe
Mm-hmm.
Nikki wanted to bring this up tonight. So
Yeah.
yeah, and then yeah,
it it's just sad. You could, because all day long I've been trying to tell people on this specific group on Facebook, no, that's Mark Anders' photo. And they're trying to say, no, Steve Isdal posted that and blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, he did post it, but he was just posting a Bigfoot photo because he's a Bigfoot believer. He's seen them before and he was just pulling pictures up to post. Okay. And I'm like, but that is a Mark Anders Bigfoot. It was done years ago. He has a website. You can go right now and find how he CGIs Billy Apes. It's on his YouTube channel right now.
right.
How he can manipulate, because he's got all that equipment. So he can make the Bigfoot look like it's walking and everything. He used to have a website where it had zoo animals, all different kind of zoo animals, and you could order and it would walk and talk and do whatever you wanted it to do.
Oh wow.
I mean, giraffes, rhinos, whatever. He had them all CGI'd and you could just pick. So,
Hmm.
he was very good at his job and it was all just to generate business. I'm sure that money is the bottom line. So,
Absolutely. Give me a second. I am sending Jimmy Blanton a link to join us. I saw his comment. He wanted to come in and join. So, all right. Okay, there we go. All right, Jimmy. I got you hooked up there, buddy. So, all right.
I mean, and that feed is still going right now. The feed is still going and people are still saying that that's real. Look at it. It's got to be real. So it's not. At some point, you have to believe some of the research that other people have done, the armchair researchers have done for you.
Right, right.
And to the point where I have to say sometimes, no, go look it up. It's right there on Google. Put in Mark Anders hoax, put in Mark Anders Bigfoot, and it'll come up with all the different people who have already exposed him. I mean, everybody. Phil Poling from Para Breakdown, and I can't remember his real name. Bigfoot
Um.
Tony,
Oh,
and
okay.
um, I'm sure Thinker Thunker probably thinks they're real though. So don't go to him, okay? Um,
Well, Thinker Thunker. I don't. Oh, wait.
that's
Maybe I'm
what I
thinking about
think.
somebody else. I don't know. There was some video. I can't remember. Maybe it was Thinker Thunker, but he did. There was one of his videos that seemed like he pointed something out that made sense. Um, but I won't get into that right now. It's too much to
Yeah,
try to
let's
think of.
not because I can
Yeah.
go off on him.
But since Baltimore's with us, you got to stop talking about him now. He's with.
Oh, okay.
How you doing, Baltimore?
Doing good.
Jimmy might be joining us. I sent Jimmy the link too.
Oh,
So
excellent. Yeah, I'm just getting ready for tomorrow.
What's
So
tomorrow?
okay.
I'm doing a well. This
Oh, the
we're having
meeting.
we're having like a little meeting type deal, and actually, what I did was there were so many still reports coming in around the Normanna area, the Pettis area, and now is pretty close to the Karn City and the Rungi area, and so many different reports. And what I wanted to do was trying to have Sin Normanna is where basically where the heart is of Bigfoot, the Bigfoot sightings, and I'm hoping to get a lot of the ranchers there, the old timers there, and like that we could actually have a meeting, like maybe like a little town hall, for example, something like that, and to see how many people will show up. I actually put on the paper and to see what happens. So Jenna from the She Squash is going to be there, so she's here in town. So we're kind of excited about it, and we're going to do some research up between Pettis and a little town called Pawnee, where there's actually been a lot of vocalizations out there. So
Nice.
yeah.
What was I going to ask? This is slightly off the topic of Bigfoot, but somebody was asking Nikki about how much snow she got over there.
Oh, yeah. We got snow in El Paso. What is up with that?
Yeah,
I moved here so that I wouldn't have to see snow ever again. You know?
I got sunburned. Yeah.
You got sunburned. She got snow on her side.
It was like an inch or two when I walked out in the morning, and enough to where you had to go out and clean your car.
Wow.
But it was completely gone by 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Wow. Send me some. I need some.
Oh my God, it was horrible. It was
snow
30
is nice
degrees.
to see once in a
That's
while.
horrible. 30 degrees over here.
God, you're lucky.
Today we had snow. Yeah, we had snow flurries all day, but that's all it was. You know, It was still neat to see that. So Trevor said, "I'm late, biscuit." Welcome along, Trevor. So, oh yeah, my buddy Trevor here on the live chat. He posted a picture of somebody paintballed his house.
What?
Yeah, somebody did a drive-by with paintballs.
Oh no, I would be so mad.
He lives on. I've been to his house, but he lives on the back road by the mountain. Yeah, he has a brick ranch house, and yeah, it shows him taking a picture of the window that's all splattered.
Oh jeez.
Good thing it didn't bust the window, because paintball guns, some of them depends on the strength of them. Some of them will bust something. But
hey, Kelly Ray, they still have Rosa's Cantina here in El Paso. It is still going. You can still get a really good margarita there.
Wow.
Mr. Zach is asking for the link.
Ain't he supposed to be wrestling somewhere?
Wrestler.
I know he was last weekend. I'm not sure. I'm sure he'll fill us in here very shortly. So I've been not watching, but I come across a lot of midget wrestling, and it reminds me of Zach. I said, look at there, Zach. All right, we got Jimmy made it in here.
Woohoo!
What's up, Jimmy?
Hey guys, what's going on?
How are you?
I'm doing pretty great. How about yourself?
Good.
Hanging in there. So, all right, we got 4 of us so far. We'll see what happens. I know when Zach gets in here, if you don't have no headset, it's going to be hard to hear him. He's always very quiet. So, here he is. Wait a minute. Yeah, I think this is him now.
North Carolina, Billy Heath. Wait, what? Was there a shooting in North Carolina or South Carolina at a base somewhere? One of the Carolinas.
It's not ringing a bell.
It just happened. There was a shooting somewhere. I thought he could fill us in.
I hope not. People are so crazy these days.
Yeah.
The stuff that's going on around the world is just ridiculous.
I think it was at the VA. Like on a VA.
Wow.
We've been combating the floodwaters here for the past 24 hours where I'm living.
Yes, so I seen that.
Kind of chaotic.
My one of the gals I follow on YouTube, Midlife Mama, her whole area is flooded as well. I can't remember the exact place she lives though.
It hasn't rained over here for
Hmm.
around pretty close to 2 months. We need some
Oh
rain.
wow.
Yeah, we need
I'll
some.
Yeah,
send it your way,
I would.
Baltimore.
I was gonna say we've been getting a lot of rain up here the last 2 or 3 days. I know. Yeah, Jimmy, you guys, you guys could go swimming out your front doors or back doors around there.
Oh yeah, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, they've
Maybe
been
I'll send
getting.
it your way, Dan.
Well, it'll only do so much. I'm on pretty high elevation, so it'll just run down.
It's
It'll
snowing.
just run
It's
back down
snowing
to it too.
outside right now, so it's
Yeah, we
it's
had
it's
some snow
cold out
flurries here
there.
today.
This
Dinobot.
our Kentucky weather's crazy. It's like flooding one day, snowing the next. It can't make up its mind basically what it wants to do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dinobot said, Daniel, we're friends on Facebook. Why didn't you say happy birthday to me?
Happy birthday, Dino.
Try having over 4,900 something friends. It's hard to keep up with everybody, all the notifications.
Yeah.
I literally would have to go look for you to see what you're doing. So I don't stay on top of people like that. So unless something's directly put up to me. You must pay for your. I sentenced you to look for your. What? He said you must pay for your mistake punishment. I sentenced you to look for beer, but never find any. No problem. I'm drinking Crown Royal anyway.
I'm drinking. I'm drinking some beer that's 9% alcohol.
Oh, let's say that again.
I'm drinking some beer that's 9% alcohol, made from Corpus Christi, Texas.
Oh
And
wow.
they only sell you a 4-pack for $10, and it's well worth it.
Wow, that sounds
Ooh.
like the one brewing company that makes the Sasquatch Ale. Their beers are between 7.5 to some of them do go up to 8 point something percent per bottle. Yeah, it's some of it's good stuff. Don't get me wrong. It's some of it's a little heavy. I like the summertime. It's got a hint of lemon and lime. It's really good, very refreshing. So.
Oh, see, now I gotta go get a beer. Somebody bring me a beer. Okay, we'll
Well,
see.
Zach's got
Get
himself
one.
muted right now because he had. I know he muted himself because there was noise in the background. I don't know if Zach, you still with us?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Oh wow.
What are you doing?
I'm on my way home from the gym.
Oh, that's why we hear.
Hey, I'm proud of you,
vehicle.
Zach.
Yeah, Zach.
Keep up the good work, man. It'd be well worth it, isn't it? You know, once you get a good title on your shoulder, it makes it worth it.
I tell you, it was the last show that we did with Redbird Rumble here this past Saturday. It was a freaking blowout. We had a packed house. We had, I think it was an 8-card event. There was 2 matches. There was tag team matches that we actually got the teachers of the school district involved.
Good. Wow.
That's cool, man.
And we got them, and I was managing the team in the main event with Double Trouble, Bud Gallows, and the hot commodity B-Rad. And we went in there. I mean, we had them going so bad there at the show. I thought they were going to start throwing stuff at us.
Well, that's what you want to do, especially if you're healing, man. You got to get that heat, brother.
Hey Zach,
I'm driving right
now. Hey Zach, when you get hey Zach, I tell you what, when you get a hit, does it hurt?
I can't hear you. My signal's real shoddy.
When you get hit or slapped, whatever, does it hurt?
Yeah, it hurts. We're literally in there beating the hell out of each other. Everything's connected.
How many bruises do you have?
They had to go and change my striking around and everything, and started to teach me how to throw forearms and punches because they were hating my chops.
Wow.
They need to teach you how to Dougie. Jimmy.
Yeah, he did.
Okay.
Hey, I know.
Oh, you know how?
I've been dug in, buddy. I ain't been in Dougie. What you talking about?
Oh my goodness. Oh, what's that one song there that's been made its rounds here? The Giddy Up. I think that's the one you created.
Oh, I like that one. I like to see those guys dance that.
I want to see Zach do a TikTok dancing to that song. You got to do one,
Oh,
Zach.
it's got to be a clear
Which
one,
one is-
Zach. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been getting ready for the next show coming up. No Love Lost coming up on the 22nd. I'm supposed to be wrestling in that one. Supposed to be fighting teachers.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
So what's
Well,
new with
hey, I want to
everybody else?
remind.
It's been a while on here.
Say that again.
What's new?
Well, nothing in particular. We've been actually having a pretty good discussion, which we'll probably continue that. But we got what we're doing tonight. Probably here very soon. Probably we started at 9:10 p.m. tonight, Eastern time. But here in another 10 minutes, we're going to start a couple. We'll do some trivia questions, and that's what I want to remind everybody that we're going to be doing trivia questions tonight. And for those who want to come and be a part of the event, it's going to give you the opportunity to win some tickets tonight. And I know everyone's going to want to answer the questions. Please keep the responses to yourself if you don't plan on really attending the event. We want to make it fair. We want to give people that do want to come to the event the opportunity to get the tickets, if that makes any sense. So if you want to respond, private message one of us and let us know what you come up with, because the answers do need to be correct. And I know the couple that I have that I'm going to be asking. They're I want to ask them in a way where you can't just Google the information, because I want to ask it where it can't be found. So it's
I
kind of
got
hard to
one.
explain.
Find it on
If you-
Google, but I know it.
If you have one and you want me to ask it tonight, send it to me, and I need to know. If I don't know it, I need to know the answer. So, Baldmar, if you got questions, feel free. We're not going to ask too much, but we'll get into it. We'll see how they turn out. And
I got a good question, but I don't know if there's an answer to it. And I will send you the question.
Well, put it on the private
Okay.
chat so I can read it too.
Oh yeah, that's right, on the private chat, so we
Yeah.
could all read it in here. So
Okay, yeah.
that way the public don't see it.
Okay, I'll do that right now.
Michael Miller is asking where the event is being held at, and I'm gonna post the information up right here. And I said I would do this again a couple more times, but here's the online flyer. This is the information that you need to know for the event coming up in June 27th, 28th, in Wares Cave, Virginia, at the Wares Cave Community Center. So there you go. Feel free to write this information down. You could go to our website. You go to our website, or as you're watching, if you're looking at the screen, the information going across the bottom of the screen will give you everything you need to know. Also, go to our website, virginiabigfootcon.com. And here, I will go ahead and throw that up there too while I'm thinking of it. Let's see, where's it at?
Baltimore,
Oh.
you're funny.
Look, they're planning a wrestling match at the ECBRO Bigfoot Con.
I thought it was funny.
What now? Oh yeah, I know Zach said something about wanting to do something like that.
Harold
want-
said me and Jimmy will take on Danny and Zach in a wrestling match at the ECBRO conference. Tracy Arnold will be mine
Oh, you
and
ain't
Jimmy's manager.
You ain't got a chance. You ain't got a chance.
They ain't got a chance.
You got the Virginia buzzsaw and the outlaw.
Do you hear
I
that,
don't
Harold?
know. I did
He
it.
says
I
you
did
don't
it
have
for
a
12
chance.
years, so I believe I can handle my own.
Let's see, what do we got
Jimmy,
here?
that's no excuse. We had a guy come and wrestle back in December. He hadn't wrestled
Baltimore.
in 10
I just now
years.
saw your question.
He did.
I didn't see it. Oh my God, no, we can't do that.
No. But we do know the answer to that.
Yeah.
That's hilarious, Baltimore.
What can I say?
Oh my.
Entertainment.
Michael Miller says school's closed for the summer. I like to take my daughter. Hey, come on down. There's going to be contests for kids, and there's going to be there'll be entertainment there. You guys will love it.
Man, I'm gonna
Sam
meet
Deloach
all these
can't
people
wait.
that I've seen online for like years.
There's Sam.
Yeah, Sam Deloach will be
Yep.
there. Sam, you finally used your personal photo for your profile picture. Yeah. Hey, Sam's getting old. No, I'm just joking.
Okay, who's next? Name another person we can say is fake.
Well,
Oh,
there's so
wait.
much information about Bigfoot. I mean, Bigfoot's been basically in the
Okay.
media since the 1950s, and just going off of some of the reading and the information I came up with, which some of the information I read of tonight, a lot of people have already known. So the question should be fairly easy, but hopefully, I don't know, we'll see. Because there's a lot of new people on here, so a lot of the stuff we discuss is stuff that's been discussed in the past. So it may be totally new information to some of the people today. Oh, what the heck is this?
What are your guys'
Oh.
thoughts on the guy? I think his last name's Patterson. I'm not for sure what his first name is from up in
Roger
Canada.
Patterson? Roger Patterson?
You're
no, not
talking
Roger
about
Patterson.
Mike Patterson.
Mike Patterson. Yes, the guy that was.
He was Sasquatch
having-
Ontario. He goes by
Yes.
Sasquatch Ontario, and that was also proven to be hoax by the son of the landowner. Proved
The
it
guy that
a
was
hoax.
doing the voices for
Yeah.
him was a musician.
Yes,
that
that's
knew
him.
him
That's the
personally.
son. That's the
Yeah.
son. And
Uh,
he
I
had all the
still-
equipment, everything.
Yeah, I still argue with people to this day
Mhm.
over this guy being legit.
Sasquatch Ontario is not real. It's not. It was made up.
Oh,
He was hoaxing.
Yep.
He the guy who made the voice of Nefertia saying Mike or whatever he was, flower. that was him. It was him. He proved it. He had the equipment. The big eye that they posted of Bigfoot, supposed Bigfoot eye, was a picture of a fish on the wall in the cottage. And he proved it because he went and he took a picture of the fish on the wall, and then you could clearly see the eye was the same eye as what they were showing.
Didn't he also claim that he would set cameras inside this cabin and Bigfoot was taking pictures and he was actually like taking pictures through a veil, like a portal?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Wow.
that the Bigfoot could go in and out and do whatever. And there was a lot of orbs outside, and it was a good story. I mean, I wanted to believe it, I mean, those footprints were like amazing because he always took them in the snow, so you had perfect prints.
Yeah.
But the guy came loose, and then they kicked him off the property. They finally kicked him off the property when he got a little too carried away. And it could be, well, maybe they were hoaxing Mike Patterson. Maybe they were hoaxing him and he just doesn't want to believe it. But he's
Hey,
moved
Chibs,
on to a
look
property
here.
nearby.
You're gonna be famous tonight. Chibs. He's too busy licking himself, guys, not not paying attention to me.
That's a cute
that's
cat.
why Dinobot said yeah. He said, "Wow, I like the cat in the background licking himself."
Yeah, that's Mr. Chibbs. That's my rotten little cat there. He's wild. It's my Squatch cat, as I call him.
Oh, Ted, we were talking about Mike Patterson, Sasquatch, Ontario, and how all that came to light, that he was the son. I can't remember his name. I can never remember the son's name. The son of the landowner was hoaxing him, and it all came out. It all came out, and there was videos put out about it saying, I was the voice of Nefertia. This is what I did, and he does it, and all of that. There's video out there. Some of the videos had to be taken down because of a court order,
Wow.
because it went that far. But I think there's still one there.
I got another one to bring up, and the last name is Patterson again.
Okay.
He's known on YouTube channel Squatch Master. I know a lot of people are familiar with Squatch Master, Jeff Patterson.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, he has thousands and thousands and thousands of subscribers. I know he keeps his YouTube channel going because anyone who knows about having a well-established YouTube channel, with having getting as many views as possible, you accumulate the dollars. He's actually had a lot of claims and images of Bigfoots and juvies running across the screen and everything else. What's y'all's take on that for those who know who Squatch Master is? I've had some dealings with him in the past.
Yeah, he wasn't a very nice guy. He had that one photo in the real high pompous grass, and you could just see the head popping up and down, up and down, up and down, like
that. I remember that one.
And then the reeds or the grass would move around, and then it would pop up again, pop up again, pop up like this, back and forth, and there was all kinds of controversy with him. And then I thought he got sick for a while, and then there were rumors he had passed away. And I don't know, there was a lot of stuff going on with him, but I think he's still trying to do. Wasn't he also the one who did the tree shaking Bigfoot?
I believe that may have been him. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. There was a tree, and it was going back and forth, and you just see this image of somebody doing that, and so yeah, he gave it a go.
There's sometimes also too. I personally do this, and sometimes I'm on Facebook, and sometimes I'm not. It all depends upon how late I come for work. Jimmy's on the show. I like listening to his show live with with Marcella. And the thing is, again, there's sometimes also too where you just have to turn the whole thing off, because people are getting so ridiculous now. You don't know what's fact or fiction anymore. Everybody lost what our mission truly is.
Mm-hmm.
So because I'll give an example. Tomorrow, we're going to go down over there and go down to places where nobody's ever been before, and actually listen to stuff that nobody's ever heard before.
Mm-hmm.
And we're trying to record it and actually put out to the public and actually see what they think. So.
All right. While you guys are talking, I'm actually looking something up to confirm before I actually ask one of my first questions.
Oh.
I just want to confirm, make sure I am going to share the correct information. I want to make sure I read it correctly myself.
Hello, Murfreesboro, Illinois.
Nikki, I love your shirt.
Illinois. Oh, my KISS shirt.
Yes.
I got my ticket.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I'm going to get to see KISS in March. So I had to go get I had to get ready. Yep.
Has anybody heard any good Bigfoot reports?
I haven't heard anything
here. It's been pretty quiet here.
It's wild how people come out of the woodworks, and tell you stories and stuff that actually happened. I had a lady that kind of freaked me out a little bit today, and her story was pretty fascinating. I didn't know whether I did believe her in a way, and this is a story, and apparently, when she was a little girl, her mom and her dad would get a divorce, and her dad would always be drinking and stuff. And every time when she would be when her father would come home drunk, a Bigfoot, a creature like would come out with all real tall, black, and hairy. And when these couples that would actually be arguing, he would actually scratch onto the tree and kind of freak them out a little bit. And this would happen every time when the father came home drunk. And then so she comes up there, goes that's the only time when he would come out. But when everything was calm and quiet, it never came out. And then so the little girl, well, she's all grown up now, came up there and actually said that he was actually at their garden to a gardening to them. Always protecting them, always looking after them and stuff. When bad things were happening, he would always make noise to scare off other people that actually affected the family. So I thought that was pretty wild. And she said that actually happened in 1986. And then when somebody throws out a date like that for so long ago, and for them actually to remember that. And then so she came up there and said, told me something wild at the end. She goes, "Well, I need to go talk to my aunts because my aunts know a little bit more about the big hairy man." So it kind of freaked me out a little bit. So
Yeah, there are so many stories. I mean, I have to admit, I don't know if a lot of you know about Steve Isdall and all the controversy he's been doing lately in the Bigfoot community, because he's had his encounter. He's a knower, and he's claims that he's tired of the BS in the Bigfoot community because most people are traumatized by the sightings of Bigfoot, and he wants to help those individuals. But he has had an incredible amount of subscribers who are now sending him in stories that he's reading on his channel. And some of them are really, really amazing and believable. And that's the only reason I really subscribe to his channel, is just to hear the stories he reads, because he's reading stories from police officers and from military and from very credible people and hunters who guides out there in BC area, and who are constantly running into these things. So he he's got some amazing stories that he tells. I'm not really I don't really care for his whole business side where he wants to, do whatever he's going to do with the Bigfoot community. I just really like to hear the stories because they're amazing. When people put their stories into their own words, you know, you can hear that they're very emotional about, what they saw and how they saw it and how it made them feel. And I think he is bringing to light is that everybody's got a story. You know, you should
Right.
for that reason, you should go check out his stories because they're recent. A lot of them are recent.
All right, I'm going to jump in there. Ladies and gentlemen, are you guys ready for the first question? I believe this one is fairly easy. My first question, there's actually, I can make 3 questions out of the information I have here. Because one of my other questions, there's actually the question involves 3 answers. But this topic here that I'm looking at, I've seen this floating around Facebook in the past. There's been a few links regarding it. First of all, here's the first question, and remember, these questions are for those who want to be at the conference. This is your chance to win tickets. The first question is, who was the one that got the FBI to test some hair and tissue samples that he believed were Bigfoot related? So So again, who got the FBI to test hair and tissue samples? So I'm going to
While
be
people are
watching
answering
the
that,
live chat.
Daniel, I got a question real quick for you.
Okay.
How can people purchase tickets if they're wanting to come to your event?
Okay. Well, if they go to the website, I do have it set up in the website itself, virginiabigfootcon.com. If they scroll through, there is an option to click on where it'll take them directly to the ticket website, or they can go to our ECBO Virginia Bigfoot Con Facebook page, and there's an option where if they click on Book Now, it will direct them directly to our ticket website there as well. So there's a couple different ways they could find that. And separately throughout Facebook, I haven't posted it. I have actually posted it separately, but not recently. But again, they could go directly to the event page and click Book Now. It'll send them to the ticket link. Or again, they can go directly to the website, virginiabigfootcon.com. So.
And I need you to send me about a 30-second audio clip so I can make a commercial to put onto my radio station that is going live Saturday.
Awesome.
Okay. That's awesome. Yeah, I will definitely do that. So I will definitely do that for you. Hold on, let me read some.
Boy, we're going to be busy. This show on Friday nights, your radio show on Saturdays, and my show on Sunday.
I'm hoping that I can get a couple spots filled in. I would like, I know me and Marcella like to do the paranormal part. I'd like to get someone that has the time throughout the week or a weekend. I know Nikki's busy with her and Suzanne. They have their show. Me and Marcella have our show, and then the show here. I'd like to fill in at least one more spot with maybe some cryptid topics and things like that. So I'm going to be looking for someone that I can get to do that part of that show for me.
Wow, cool.
Okay, we do have a response, and it's the first response I see. Bobcat Wong, no, it's not who you said it was. Michael Miller, you are correct. It is Peter Burns. So
wait a minute.
And
Daniel McCauley said Peter Burns first.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Daniel McCauley.
But I can't let him win. He's already got tickets.
Oh. And you weren't supposed to answer, Daniel. Daniel McCauley.
Yeah,
that's okay. Right after that, Michael Miller put it on there.
So, yeah. The only one thing I will correct: 1970 was wrong. It was actually 1976. So, and Peter Byrne was 93 years old.
Wow.
So, yeah.
I was wrong.
Yeah, because he. Why? What did you
him.
come up with?
Huh?
I know I had somebody question me separately, respond on my messenger, and they asked if it was Jeff Meldrum, which it was not. Of course, this. So yeah, okay, yeah, Michael Miller, yeah. Actually, you got the spelling correct the first time around. He said, "Oops, Peter Berm." It's not. It's.
Oh, you had it right. Yeah.
Yeah, you had it right the first time. So. So yeah, Michael Miller, you won. Let me write that down.
Woohoo!
Yay!
I need to
stop using Google, Michael. No, I'm just joking.
Believe in yourself. Yay!
Oh, that's cool. I love that.
It's my little fan. But you can probably
okay. I got Michael Miller written down. Michael Miller. I'm not sure if we're on Facebook together. I would need your email address, or you can email me at ecbro98@gmail.com so I can get that arranged with you.
Yay, Michael! The first winner of tickets to the Virginia Bigfoot Con.
Yay!
And the next question, and I got this question from Zach Sterrett through Messenger. I didn't know this information. This is actually good information. What university did Lauren Coleman study science at? Maybe a lot of people know this. I don't know. I didn't know this, but so the question is, what university did Lauren Coleman study science at?
And everybody's going to Google right now.
Mike is sitting here cheering. Awesome. Michael Miller, how old is your daughter? Just out of curiosity. Depending on her age, you may only need just one ticket because children, usually children 12 and under are free. So, let's see. So Bobcat Wong, you are wrong. So I think what I'll do, the next person that gets this correct, I will screenshot. I will share their. If they have the correct answer, I'll put it on the screen. So I'll ask it one more time. What university did Lauren Coleman study science at? So
I got an answer, but I don't know if it's right.
Zach said, "Cue the Jeopardy music."
Okay, that's enough.
Oh, I was enjoying that. I was about to start dancing.
Everybody
to
says.
Okay,
Bobcat
no
Wong.
answers. I guess that question's too hard. Let me guess.
Bobcat Wong keeps throwing the same answer out there, and I keep saying it's still wrong.
No, Bobcat, it is not Cornell University.
I guess not too many people pay attention to Lauren Coleman. Well, I don't either. I didn't know the answer until Zach put it up there on my messenger.
But I don't know if this. It's got to be him. It is. But he went to 2 schools, actually.
Hold on. Zach should have been more specific because I think someone got it right.
Where?
Harold Denton says Simmons University or Southern Illinois.
Yes. He went to Simmons, but for social work. But he went to Carbondale.
Wait, the Scottish Wildman says Simmons. He was before Harold, so I.
The Southern Illinois at Carbondale is the one where he got his zoology one.
Hey, I just Googled information. He was born in Norfolk, Virginia.
Yeah, that's why I thought you were asking the question.
Okay. No, but okay. Zach's answer, what Zach gave me is correct. So I haven't seen it put up here yet. Well, actually, I got to say, Harold does have it up there.
Yeah.
Even though he misspelled it.
Yeah.
It's not Simmons University. It's Southern Illinois University. So yes, Harold, you got it correct. Yeah, because he studied anthropology and zoology at Southern Illinois University. Yeah.
And then he got his degree in social work at Simmons.
Yeah. So Harold Denton, you got it correct, sir.
Woohoo! Harold in the house.
That reminds me, Daniel. I have some artwork that I made that I'm going to bring to you when I come to the con. I'll show it to you real quick. I think I've showed it before.
Okay. Well, hey, Jimmy, okay, I'll wait till you get back on.
Oh, did he fall?
Did you fall?
Or he drops, or
I
his
think his
laptop
camera
dropped.
just fell.
No.
There he is. He's back.
We thought you fell.
Harold said, "Give me my ticket." You're being denied, Harold. Well, Jimmy, you should talk to Marcella. I know she was talking about she
Ooh,
didn't want to
cool.
come up and set nothing
Ain't
up,
that
but
sucker.
oh, nice,
Ooh.
dude.
Oh.
You should get more of those and sell them.
Where'd you get that?
Well, we had thought about. I actually made that. It's made
Oh
out of clay. I sculpted
God.
it myself.
That is awesome.
Those are pretty cool.
That is awesome.
Harold said, "Whatever." All right. So far we have two winners. We have Michael Miller and Harold Denton. Harold Denton. You know, why does Harold Denton's name remind me of hold on. Hold on 1 second. I hear a vehicle outside my.
Okay. Marcella, keep trying to get Daniel in trouble.
What's Marcella saying?
Oh, it's crust.
Marcella, she keeps saying, just want you to know Daniel called you a midget earlier. She wanted to get that message to Zach.
Oh, Zach. Yeah.
That's funny.
I'm always picking on Zach. All right. You guys ready for another question? Somebody yelling in the background.
What? I'm thinking about postponing.
All right. Let's see. All right. Here is the next question, ladies and gentlemen. Here is the next question. Name the journalist and the year that the story of the Ray Wallace hoax. So you got to name the journalist and the year the story of Ray Wallace hoax came out. And this is a 3-part answer. I need all 3 answers. The name of the journalist, the year, and the paper that the story was published in. So, if you guys could watch the live chat, I'm gonna go use the bathroom really quick. So I'll throw this out there one more time. This next part, it's a 3-part question. 3 question, 3 answer. Name the journalist and the year the story of the Ray Wallace hoax came out. All right, and the paper it was published in. So,
Dang, that's a lot.
Yeah, it is. That's hard.
gotta throw a little bit of a challenge in there. If we make it too easy, it's gonna give people some research to do. Hopefully, they're not Googling. If maybe they can do a little something, whatever helps them out. But hey, I found this information. Someone else can too. I'll be right back. Bobcat Wong, you were wrong again.
I would tell you all the answer, but I don't have all the answers. I mean, I know he kind of sent it to me, but it doesn't say the date. Here.
Here you go.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go put you in a few minutes.
Marcella, that is so funny. Because I was thinking implants. Holy cow.
Implants.
Baltimore. That's a delayed reaction for Baltimore.
Yeah. She's getting new teeth.
We were going to try to make it, and we were going to set up and sell some items, but she was going to have teeth implants, and I think she's postponing that till the fall. She says, so we might get to come and set up.
Oh,
and,
I hope you guys come because I'm so looking forward to meeting you guys.
We're going to come either way it goes. We've done made plans and stuff. We need to get our tickets actually.
Yeah, you know what? I haven't gotten mine either. He probably raised the ticket prices already.
Hey, maybe if you know the answer to the question.
They come in just
I get a
enough
free
time to
ticket
catch
because
that.
I'm traveling the farthest, I think.
Yeah,
agree
Nikki,
with
I'm
you,
only
Nikki.
charging you. I'm only charging Nikki $50 for her ticket.
Along with the $600 plane ticket and the rental and the everything else.
Tell your plane to stop off over in Beeville County to pick Baltimore up.
It probably will.
Never
Stop
know.
in Harlan, Kentucky. Stop in Harlan and pick Jimmy and Marcella up.
Pick everybody up on the way.
Hey, Luna.
Well, so far, people must be Googling some information. They must, because I haven't seen no responses yet.
No, because that was a lame ass question. No.
Oh my.
We don't know that answer.
Let's see. I think I had something else I could ask. Let me pull something up here. But I want to see if people can get this.
I'm doing good, Marcella. I hope you're doing good. Stay dry.
Marcella lives on a mountaintop, so she's good.
She's good. You're the one who's encroaching.
Yeah, I'm like right here on the river, on the Cumberland River, so it got hairy yesterday. I had to say that.
Did they say
I
you
was kinda
might have
concerned.
to evacuate?
I actually, my sister-in-law and they were a couple more down here. We actually went up to my mother-in-law's and for about 4 hours yesterday till the water crested and it started coming down pretty quick after that.
Oh, well, that's good.
All right. All right. Here's an easy question. It's relating to the Peter Burns question. All right. The FBI what did they conclude the samples were? What did they come from? So regarding the 1976 Peter Byrne samples that he had tested by the FBI, what did they conclude that they belonged to? There's a question. I think that's an easy one. So we shall wait and see.
Oh. Valdemar, look at the screen.
Oh.
Yes, Marcella says to tell you hi, Baltimore.
I see that.
And Marcella, I will be at your house probably right around 7 o'clock tomorrow evening.
Bobcat Wong, you are wrong.
Vanilla.
Now,
Survey
Bobcat, if you really plan on coming, if you win tickets, you better be there. Yeah, Bobcat Wong's trying to answer. He better find a way to get there if you win, because he don't have a car.
You're gonna be recovering, dude.
Yeah. Well, yeah, isn't he? He's getting ready to go have a couple different surgeries.
Yeah.
This month.
You are going to be in no shape for travel.
Yeah, no doubt.
You got to take care of you.
So Bobcat Wong, I'm gonna have to disqualify you if you get the answer right.
For your own good.
He said, "I'll be there. I'm taking the Greyhound."
Oh my goodness.
The Greyhound's cool, but that's a long ride because they have a lot of stops and overlays and all
Yeah.
that mess.
Yeah, you're in Ohio, right? Isn't he in Ohio?
Yeah, he's in Cincinnati, Ohio, which is kind
Yeah.
of
Oh,
the
wow.
northern part of Ohio.
Yeah, that's a drive.
He said it'll be a 1 month recovery. The doctor said.
Wow.
So, yeah.
No, Luna.
Oh, okay. Well, that's a little down the road then. He's got some time.
Oh yeah, he's in Cleveland, Ohio. Well, from someone like me, I have experience traveling Greyhound, and Greyhound. If you're gonna take Greyhound, you got to schedule in advance. Find out your starting location, how long it's going to take you, because it may take you overnight. I know I've taken the Greyhound up to Massachusetts. I've taken it to Pennsylvania, and Pennsylvania, where I went in Pennsylvania, if I drove myself, it would have been only 5 hours. It took a lot longer than that because
Stops
we
and
were.
everything.
I know. Yeah, we had to switch buses up in Baltimore, Maryland, and we were there for like 6 hours just waiting.
Oh God.
So yeah. Oh, and then when I went up to Massachusetts, it was during a snowstorm, so we had a 11-hour delay in New York City, right around Times Square. So that was interesting.
Wow.
Yeah. Before we got back on the bus to head up, because snow was coating the ground pretty well up there. So because from New York all the way up to Boston, it was all shut down pretty much for travel. He said, okay, Bobcat Wong said, I've took the Greyhound to North Carolina 5 times to see my brothers. Cool. All right. Harold. So I'll repeat the question one more time.
Oh, I know the answer.
Okay, you do?
Yeah, I do now.
All right, I'll tell you, you're allowed to answer.
I do
the
take
question.
bribes. I take money, food,
Well, if you want to
Daniel,
win
we
some
need
tickets,
a drink
we
at the
need-
conference.
I need to come over for a visit, and let's go do some squatching soon, like within the next couple months.
oh, absolutely. Yeah.
I'm going to try to see if I can get Marcella and her husband to come with me, too. So we'll talk about that later, and we'll set that up, and we'll get together and do some stuff before the event.
Oh, absolutely. Hey, Taylor Cook. You guys
Tyler.
What's up?
They were supposed to be my
Missed you
speakers.
too.
They were supposed to come up to the event, but they left me hanging this year. No,
I'm so sad. I'm going, Taylor, and I also wanted to meet y'all.
Yeah, Taylor. You guys will have. I think they're going. He's going on a cruise around that time.
Oh, wow. That's a pretty good reason.
I love hanging out with those guys. I mean, all of them. They're just awesome people.
Johnny Tucker. Hey, buddy. I'm doing pretty good. How you doing?
Nobody's answering.
Okay.
So.
Micah Miller said, I think I know the answer, but I already won. Well, go ahead, Nikki. What do you got?
What? Deer family.
Yes. Deer. So
the DNA came back deer.
Be coming.
The deer family.
Oh, Taylor said no cruise now.
Yeah.
Taylor.
He says he might be coming.
Oh, why? Because of the whole scare with the flu thing? Or just
nobody wants to catch the coronavirus. I don't.
I know. They were keeping those people on that boat.
Wasn't it like 12 people they quarantined on that boat?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, Taylor Cook said he's just coming to hang.
That's awesome if you do.
Michael Miller is asking if I will be at the conference. I guess I guess he doesn't know. I'm the one that's putting it on. Yes, I'm the host of the event. So, yes.
It's his baby.
Oh, he said no. They're going to the beach instead.
Oh.
Scottish Wildman. Even though he actually answered the question to the. All right, you got 1 out of 3 correct. So, yeah, unless he's. I think he abbreviated the name. If you could put out the full name, I don't know. But I will say this much: Scottish Wildman, you got the year correct. I will give that out. It is 1958 for the name of the journalist, the year, and the name of the paper. So, but Scottish Wildman, you did
Kitty
get
cat.
the year correct. So,
No.
all right, who's
Blended
messaging me? Oh,
You have a pretty kitty cat there,
Thank you.
Nikki.
Bobcat
Is he
Wong
a
said
turtle?
when I.
He's a feisty one, though. Okay.
Yeah, is that what you call a turtle? A turtle on a cat?
No, he's actually he's a short hair gray, but he's got cream colored on the bottom. Is you know,
Really?
yeah. If you move his fur, it's all cream colored underneath. So
Wow.
all his
Cool.
hairs are 2 different colors.
Wow.
He's like what do they call it? Oh, look, he just got back there. Yeah, but he's all gray.
Baltimore's got a pretty cat too.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
Luna. This cat, for it, is a little female, and she's a real smart little cat. And when to get away from the males, he actually climbs up the house, stays up there until the males leave, and then she'll come down.
Hold on, you guys all showing off cats. Let me go get mine.
That's why I was getting ready to ask Daniel if he had a pet.
And let me tell you one thing: this little cat is spoiled.
It's
Alright,
easy
my-
to spoil an animal, period. I mean, I've got a little dog. She's a chug. She's a part Chihuahua and part pug. And she's like a little football with a head. She's
Oh,
chunky little
cool.
thing.
All right. Before I show you my cat, let me respond to Scottish Wildman. The name Timothy in my Times are the New York Times is still incorrect. So, but here's my cat. Since my landlords won't let me have a real cat, I got this. This is Nala from The Lion King. So, yeah, she doesn't shed and nothing. She just hangs around.
That's good.
So, all right. Taylor said, "I'll message you, Dan." Okay, cool. So yeah, I guess that was. I don't know. I guess that is a tough 3-point question. I mean, he got the year correct. All right. Feel free to keep guessing. But the name of the newspaper, maybe they don't exist no more. I don't know. I haven't looked them up or Googled information regarding them. But if you could get one of the next 2 correct, I will give you. I'll let that be because you've already got the year. If you can get one of the next ones correct, I will definitely give it to you. So, all right.
Marcel said, and you can keep that cat alive. Laugh out loud, kidding.
Yes. Oh, now I got a Nala from The Lion King looking at me. I got Bigfoot looking at me right here. My little Bigfoot. I love this little figurine.
Finally, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, I got this from North Carolina at the Bigfoot.
I finally got my
event.
hands on a Patterson Gimlin recast of the Patty footprint. I got it last year at the con that we had. A good friend of mine, Thomas Markham, he has an original casting of it. And I made a little thing to put it in. It's pretty neat.
Oh
Cool.
yeah. Oh, Bob, yeah, and just for those who don't know, yeah, Thomas Markham will be at the event. He's actually one of our speakers, so that's going to be pretty cool.
Awesome. Hey,
Yeah,
he's top notch. I'm telling you, I love Thomas. Thomas is like a brother to me.
Now Thomas, I believe Tony Pelosi may be joining him. There's a possibility. I heard rumors that he may be there. And Harold Denton says, "I have a pet rock." Actually, I do. It's right here.
No, he said, yeah. Says Daniel has. Yeah.
I have this rock because I found it fascinating. I found this in the middle of the woods along a creek bed, just sitting on a log that was going across the water. Somebody probably put it there, but I thought it was cool because it's got this. It's perfectly square, and it's got this little erosion line through it. So I don't know. I just found it fascinating. I decided to keep it. So
Daniel
I've got
found a
quite a
brick.
bit of a fossil collection that I have collected over the past year. Where we go 4-wheeler riding up on the mountain back here, it's been strip mine. It's pretty much just completely bald. There's no trees, none whatsoever. And there is like one area where we found all kinds of fossils. They're awesome. I'll have to bring some of them with me when I come to the con and show them to you.
Okay. Yeah, that'd be awesome. Yeah. I know the last. See, I didn't. Yeah, the last 2 years I've had some of my casts on display at my table. I will have some. I'll have them again this year. And this year, I am planning on obtaining copies of one of my books. I'm not going to have all my books there. I'm going to have one of my copies of my book there, my latest one called Learning Bigfoot. And I have a small book. It's mainly a coloring book for kids. I'm going to try to get some copies of them to give to kids. I'll be giving those ones, probably give them away. So it's actually that there. It's the art cover on the front of that page was by Mr. Ray Gardner. For those who know Ray Gardner out of Ohio, he gave me permission to use his artwork on the front cover. So that's interesting. It's got a lot of different pictures of. It's got different Bigfoot pictures and also some wildlife in there. It's like I said, it's mainly a coloring book, but it's I designed it to where it could be a little bit educational because it has pictures of animals and their paw prints. So it'll be good for young children to learn how to identify their tracks as well.
And where can folks purchase your books at, Daniel?
Well, they could actually find the books on Amazon. If you go to Amazon.com and look up the title of my book, you will find my books. Yeah. Again, the name of my latest book,
plug, guys.
Huh?
Yeah.
I said that's a shameless plug. I was like, go for it. Because when you mention your books and stuff, you always have to plug your books. Especially, that's things that you put a lot of work into, a lot of time goes into those, and of course you have to plug them.
Well, here's another update. Finding Bigfoot's coming back. It's going to have me, Baldemar, Nikki, and Jimmy. So, just.
Oh my God. I already have a picture with Finding Bigfoot on there. Do you remember the one that Shane did?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, he did. I know he added you.
I don't know where that photo is right now, but he plugged me and he plugged us all into the Finding Bigfoot people.
I might be able to look that up. Hold on.
I don't know. Where would it be on Looking for Bigfoot Hour? I don't know.
Yeah, and then go to images if it pulls up.
Scottish Wildman has said Humboldt times.
Yes, you are correct.
Yep.
That is the correct answer. So Scott, let me write his name down.
So he won? Scottish Wildman?
Yes.
You better not be in Scotland or you're coming a long way. You're coming a long way to a conference, buddy. You just won tickets. Where are you at, Scottish Wildman?
If you're if you happen to live in the, yeah, he goes by Scottish Wild Man.
He's playing for fun.
Yeah.
Nobody was answering
Well,
that
that
one. It was a
sucks.
hard question.
I know that's fine, but
You
you got
know
that
who
correct.
did. He looked him up.
The name, yeah, you got that correct. 1958, the Humboldt Times newspaper, and the journalist's name was Andrew Gonzoli. So, yeah, so I guess
Oh
nobody
my
would have
God.
figured that
Who,
out.
how would we have known?
Let's see, where's
Only
that?
Henry May would have come up with that answer instantly.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure he would have.
He is in Scotland.
Ah, well, the look of the Irish finally caught up with him.
Give it to Wing. Who's Wing?
Me and Marcella needs to take Daniel on a ghost hunting expedition.
Who?
What the heck is it?
Daniel.
Oh.
Me and Marcella need to take him out on an expedition with us when we go on a ghost hunt.
Yeah, that would be pretty cool.
To watch Daniel get scared.
I don't get scared.
You get scared.
I don't get scared.
I don't think Daniel would get scared.
Yeah, I've been out in the woods plenty of times at night by myself. I've heard some crazy things out there. Yeah, so what if I run in my vehicle and lock the doors? I don't get scared.
He heard a car door out front and he went running. Did you see him?
Yeah.
Because every time I hear a vehicle, it sounds like they're, because I'm right here on the main street and it sounds like there's somebody always pulling in my driveway. And sometimes it is. Sometimes it could be anybody, my landlords or, yeah. Wait a minute. I might be getting close to finding it.
Oh my God.
I see my picture pull up. Man, that's a handsome
yeah, I
guy
forgot
right
what
there.
you were looking for.
Yeah.
I bet you I can.
Marcella
find it
said we could
faster.
take you to Bob Mackey's with us when we go.
Oh my God.
No.
Bob Mackey's is a very notoriously active dive bar in Wilder, Kentucky, and it is. Marcel's been there plenty. I think right around 4 times, maybe. We had planned on going there a couple months back, but they had a big mudslide right across the street from where the bar was at, and they had to shut down that section of the road down to do the repairing and things.
There it is.
We didn't get to go, but I'm hoping we get to go there soon.
And Nikki, I found it.
You found it? Oh no!
Yep. It was actually if you go to looking for Bigfoot's page, look at their Facebook page and go under photos. It's under there.
I went to Shane's page.
There's one with you, Henry May, Shane, and Fred, and then there's another one that got made by Ray Gardner. It's got me, Shane, Henry, and Fred with a Bigfoot behind us. Here, I'll share both of those. Yeah.
I forgot.
Allison Maston in the comments said, oddly, a lot of Bigfoot sightings in areas of orbs and ghost activity.
Mm-hmm.
I know this is a Bigfoot type thing, but can I make a comment on that, Daniel, if you don't mind?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Please feel free. Yeah, we get into talking about a little bit of everything on here sometimes, so that's definitely fine with me.
Pertaining to orbs, a lot of folks don't study enough when it comes to orb activity. Me and Marcella both, I strongly believe that a lot of orbs can be dust particles, hair from pets. A true orb gives its own light off. And if you study pictures of orbs enough, you'll be able to tell a real one from just a bug or something like that. I've even had people send me pictures of so-called orbs and say they were fairies.
Oh, wow.
How they would get that, I can't fathom really. I'm very, very picky in doing the paranormal activity work, ghost hunting, whatever you want to call it, stuff like that over the years, I've maybe seen one true orb. The rest of them, break down the photos. You can tell it's just a dust particle or bugs and stuff like that. Especially if you're outside. I've had a lot of folks in graveyards. Most of the time, people always catch orbs in graveyards, and they don't think and use common sense that tells you it's either a bug, an insect, or it's a refraction of light from the camera that they're using. Especially if you're using a flash, you're taking a chance on just getting light refraction. And Baltimore can tell you that also.
Sure. I mean, I have when I went to Gettysburg, my fiance and I used to do a lot of investigations in Gettysburg, and there were so many times that we had to debunk orbs, flashing lights, bugs. Oh, and people were all excited. Oh, well, we caught an orb. We caught an orb. Because no, it's not. It's a particle, a dust particle. You know, and the thing is, again, is it's real difficult, to explain. But once you have the ghost in the head, and people go believe what they want to believe, and then so they're basically going to try to sell you these things, But I'm sorry, you can sell no ice to this Eskimo, There's sometimes that if and also too, even if people have like smears in their lenses, they could actually consider that as a ghost. I actually caught an apparition on a ghost on top of the stairs. Beautiful photo of one. I think I had it on my Facebook page many years ago. And then I tried to debunk that, and I had to go double check my camera, making sure that there wasn't no smear, nothing like that. But it was a perfect, and there was no way for me to debunk it. That's what makes a good researcher and what makes a good paranormal person. If you try to debunk your information, you just try to debunk everything. If you can't debunk it must be real.
Yes, and that's even in cryptozoology. You have to do the same thing. It's just like the paranormal aspect. If you can't debunk what you're seeing or what you found, then you got to take in context that it's possibly good evidence.
Right. There's sometimes also too, again, I don't consider myself a good researcher. I just go up there and, I just call it the way I see it. And, if it does not feel right to me, I'm not going to call it what it is. We just have to, again, I can't go over there and say, hey, look, this is a ghost up here, blah, 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 caught this one. But when it comes to an EVP, and you come up there and you hear a little girl talking, and you hear another little boy talking, and you hear all these people talking inside this EVP, and then when there's nobody else in the room, what else can you call it but an EVP? Mm-hmm. So if it walks like a duck, talks like a duck, it's a duck. So
yeah.
There's a lot of people who have claimed that they see orbs when they've seen or think they've heard Sasquatch in the area. A lot of stories.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, the North Carolina Squatch Watchers have several times captured some kind of light anomalies behind David. I think it was David a couple of times while they were out there getting activity.
They were by a graveyard and was out doing a little excursion and was talking about Bigfoot, and there was a light that shone behind David as he was talking, and they actually caught that on film.
Yeah.
And in that area behind that graveyard where they were standing, there was no homes back there and stuff, and it, how would you explain a light like that? It's kind of hard. But I'm like Baltimore. Me and Marcel are both the same. We try to debunk everything. Yes, that's right, Marcelo. We usually throw orbs out just based on the fact that most of the time we can debunk it by being an insect.
Yeah.
Anytime you catch orbs while you're out doing your hunt for Bigfoot, you got to use common sense. You're outside. There's going to be insects uh, and things like that. So we always just throw it out, especially if it's outside. I mean, that's a high probability that that's what it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly, Allison.
Daniel, have you ever had a? Most people have stories about the paranormal. Do you have a story, or have you seen something that you couldn't quite explain before?
I can't say I've ever seen anything that I can't explain. One thing I've shared a long time ago, a long while back anyway, if you want to consider it paranormal, two different incidents. When I used to live in this house trailer several years ago, I was by myself. Well, there was one time my daughter was there. She was real little. She was sleeping, and there was one time when she wasn't there. But there was one time I was sitting there on the couch watching TV, and TV wasn't loud, but this is when my daughter was sleeping. Sleeping. She was in the back room sleeping. It was kind of at nighttime, and I'm sitting there, and I swear I heard the sounds of little footsteps running up the hallway, coming from where her bedroom was. It sounded like it ran up right behind me, and I'm like, Brianna, what are you doing up? I'm turning around. As I'm saying this, I'm turning around. She's not there. And I get up, I walk down there. She's sound asleep. I was like, what the heck was that? And then another time, same place, I was at the counter. I was doing something, prepping some food or doing whatever. And on the back of my shirt, down at the lower part of my back, I have a tug, tung tung. I turn around, look around. There's no one there. My daughter wasn't there at the time. She was probably at my parents or in school or something. So those are two of the different incidents I'll always remember. I don't talk about them that much, but I think that's probably the closest you'll get to any bit of paranormal with me. So, so I can't say I've ever seen anything, but having those two
That's
experiences,
still,
yeah,
yeah,
I
that's still something that make you scratch your head, and make you think a little bit.
I got
yeah,
one for
exactly.
you. I got one for you, Jimmy. Have you ever had a?
Oh my God.
Oh wow, too funny.
Blast from the past.
Yeah, I
I got
forget who did that one, but
I got one for you, Jimmy. Have you ever had a ghost remove something from your hand and people not find it for around 3 days later and find it in the same spot that you were at?
No, I remember you telling me a story about that.
Yeah, Dunker Lighthouse. I actually had a ball removed from my hand, and I was cleaning a lower dumb waiter. And so I asked Dave, the lighthouse keeper, if you found that ball, I want it back. And I looked everywhere for that ball, exactly where it was sitting at, in and out of the lower dome area, and there was nothing there. So they cleaned up the area where I was at. Like 2 or 3 days later, they found that ball right in front of the lower dome. So, and to this day, that ball still moves around the Dunker Lighthouse.
well,
Wow.
let me ask you guys: have any one of you ever done the experiment with a flashlight or any other device
Yes.
to see if it gets activity by asking if there's anything there to turn it on? Uh, Tracy Arnold has done this in an old schoolhouse. I believe it was a schoolhouse. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure it was a school that he was working in or something. He was in a room, had the lights out, and I forget whatever the device it was he used. But every time he asked it would be a little bit of a delay, but he would stand in one place, and he had even though it was dark, he had the camera there, and a light would come on whatever
Wow.
the device he was using. Yeah, he actually recorded that happening. I remember that. So
I've
I thought that
actually
was pretty
got
cool.
some activity with a flashlight one time in an area. It was actually outside around an old homestead up on the mountaintop, and it's real easy. But you got to watch when you use flashlights for experiments like that, especially the ones that have the backs that screw off that you can barely touch that will come on.
Oh, okay.
So
Hey, Jimmy.
sometimes you have to throw that out.
Jimmy, what do you think about the voice box? They want the staticky thing, and then words come out. What do you think of that?
Well,
Oh, the spirit box.
Yeah,
yeah, personally, I don't use those much, only because of the fact, to me, now this is my opinion, of course, I don't take into consideration using things like that as evidence because there's so much interference.
correct.
Well,
I,
when you're done, I'm going to ask you a question after you're done explaining. But
but
because I had a question.
yeah, these
Go ahead, bud.
I don't. We don't use them much because of that. If we can't get good evidence, I mean, if we try to debunk it and we can't, then we usually use that as evidence. But if we can't debunk it, then we just toss it out. We don't even, try to put it up as evidence and things like that. Because if you put up so much stuff like that, you get good seasoned hunters that know what they're doing.
Right.
And they call you out on something, it's going to make you look bad. So we don't want that to be dragged into any of our ghost hunts. So we just usually just throw it away.
Yeah, because I got to tell you a funny story about that. I used to ghost box for the very first time, and it was showing little words, kicking little words out here and there. And we were doing a ghost investigation inside this old house, for example. And it was like a little museum type, and they had a whole bunch of stuff on there. And then there were some little kids on top of inside the rooms upstairs. And then all of a sudden, on the voice box, it comes up and says, "Get out." Here's Dave. You can hear it in the voice box. Get out. Anyway, so the little kids get scared, and they go down over there, and they stop in the middle of the stairs, and it comes up and says, "No, all the way out," and everybody takes off. I thought that was so. It was like it was like a coincidence, that these words came out. And can I say that was actually ghost talking in the box? It was like these random words, so I just left it as I couldn't debunk it, but it was hilarious, and it basically got the job done, and the kids left the house. So,
Huff Paranormal actually, he's got a box that he sells now that takes out all that static and stuff, and you get a good, clear answer. I've studied his videos. I believe that right now he's at the top with the electronics and stuff like that. I would probably in the future purchase one of those boxes from him just so I could do some experiments on it myself to verify. But the ones now, the SB7s, we don't like using those at all. And personally, I hardly ever even bring around a EF meter. Marcella's about the best one that I have. That's what I tell everybody. She's my EF meter because she sees that stuff before you can even most of the time get things out, your equipment out. She'll like right off the bat just say, I see something. And then, you go with it. And sure enough, we get answers and things from what we're trying to find. We done a home just a couple weeks ago, and we actually found an Oculus. It was a 4-foot tall mirror, and there was a mean spirit attached to it. So she binded it to that and took it out, and she has it with the rest of her haunted items and stuff. And hopefully, we might be able to bring some of that stuff with us when we come to the con for everyone to look at and see what they think about it.
Hey, Jimmy.
What would be cool? Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry, Nick.
Well, we have a question from Michelle Long. She's asking that it seems like nowadays anyone can have a paranormal TV show. Are there any of you think they are legit?
Well, a lot of these shows are entertainment, just like the Finding Bigfoot, Expedition Bigfoot. You have to take that into consideration. Their scripts, they over exaggerate certain things, but to me, I'm going to say at least 90% of shows are just entertainment value.
Good answer.
No, on YouTube, there's a
Well,
bunch of paranormal channels out there. Kind of the same thing. You
Yeah.
got to beware of what you're watching. But the Huff
hmm
Paranormal, I've watched him, and he's amazing and he's scary at the same time. Some of the stuff that he channels through his podcast, and
Yeah.
Paranormal Portals, another good one for stories. If you're into hearing about people's paranormal stories, the Paranormal Portal with Brent Thomas is awesome. And what's that other one? I can't think of it right now. But they're out there. There's a bunch. There's a bunch out there.
Daniel,
You know,
you said you had a question.
yeah. Give me 1 second. I was actually looking at something related to what you guys are talking. I don't know if I have the right. Yeah. Well, before I ask my question, I wanted to this group right here. They're local out of here, Virginia. They will be at the event. They'll be setting up as vendors as well, and they are promoting the heck out of this event. They have a pretty large following. Now, however, they do recordings and they do episodes and shows that they upload that they put into on video that they sell on Amazon. They were actually they co-starred, they guest on Destination Fear. It's a series that airs on Travel Channel. They were with yeah they had one show or episode that they were on there. Now they go all over the place again. I feel that I feel that these people are very legit. They don't try to go out there to you know I believe they're they have a regular website. I don't believe they're out there to just to fool people. Um, yeah, they're very interesting. You'll be able to compare equipment, and you guys will probably be able to share and have a lot in common. So you'll be able to get to meet these folks here at the event.
Awesome.
So yeah,
Yeah,
no,
we're
you guys are
always willing to talk to people about the
oh
paranormal
yeah.
and stuff like that. So
The other thing is too when you guys when you were talking about different pieces of equipment like the spirit box, the one that shows the words of whatever he hears, as far as being them being legit or not. Um, well, the question I was going to ask, and Kimmy, I see Kimmy Disordered, it was on the live chat. Back in 2014, during that event, while we had our expedition, that was when we had our encounter together. But one night, while we were just hanging out at our base camp, she had I'm getting tongue tied. She had that device, and she would experiment with it on and off. And keep in mind, out there shouldn't be nothing to interfere with nothing because out there's no phone signal, there's no reception of nothing. Um, but she picked up a few things. A few words on occasions would be spitting out. For example, one of the words, I won't forget it, it was soldier. And it said it and it displayed it on the little screen that she had on her device. Now, I found that very interesting because in that area, at one time, soldiers did pass through that area. If you go a few miles up the forest road, there's an old, I forget what they call it. They called it Camp Todd. There was an old cabin there, which it's not there no more. It hasn't been there for probably who knows how long. Um, okay, yeah, she said it's called the Ovilus or whatever you guys say it. The
Fabulous.
Ovulus, yeah.
Ovilus, yeah,
Fabulous.
yeah. She still has it. She mentioned. So, um, being out there and picking up stuff like that, being out in the middle of nowhere, as far as having no interference. You think that might be some of those answers or those responses or whatever they were that were popping up on her device? What do you think that could be? I guess legit. I guess you could say.
Well, you do got to take in consideration if you guys were out in the middle of nowhere.
Right.
It's a possibility that you all were getting answers from a spirit. But now these electronic devices have sound banks. A sound bank is like so many words that's put into a process, and some of these, that's what they do. The spirits use their energy to make the words come up on these devices. A
Ah,
lot of
okay.
these sound banks too, they're from radio stations. They pick up FM and AM radio stations, and
Now,
that's
see,
one of the
that makes
reasons
sense.
why. That's one of the reasons why we hardly ever use that. Now there is an Andes box. It's what it's called. It is a pretty good device. Now I have to say you don't get much static and stuff back on an Andes box. Me and Marcella both have talked about purchasing some more equipment. Right now, like I said, I'm leaning more towards Huff Paranormal type devices because they don't have that static in the background bleeding through. You get a good, clear answer with that type of device. But the SB7s and other things like that, the Ovilus, I unless you're out away from civilization, I guess you could say, where there would be no interference like that, you could take that in consideration.
Right.
But
Well, one thing you did say does make sense because even though you don't get no phone reception or anything like that, when you're in your vehicle, you can still get radio stations out there. I mean, your radio still picks up
yeah,
fine. So that there makes sense if it's still picking up some kind of interference somewhere out there. So yeah, that's interesting. So
Yeah,
yeah, no,
because go ahead, Daniel. Sorry.
Oh no, I was just gonna say thank you, Jimmy, for that information. So
Yeah,
you're welcome to anytime.
yeah, especially down creeks and pretty close to the water and stuff like that. Uh, I I've been to areas with certain creeks and where I got bad feelings of certain areas that something like that happened there, and it and once you go to these certain areas, they want you to leave, and then if you don't leave, they would come up there and my communications have always been to my dream state, and that's the way that I was normally warned. I was in one location, and I stayed there a little bit too long, and they wanted me to leave immediately, and I didn't. And then, sure enough, I had a dream where something terrible was going to something was going to happen to my truck, a bad car accident, and somebody was going to die. Basically, and that basically like that. So I basically ignored this, saying, "Oh, that's a figure of your imagination," blah blah blah. And then, sure enough, I brought some people down over there, an area just to look around. And then, so sure enough, those people the very next day were in a terrible car accident. And then all of a sudden, the weekend came, and high tide almost. I went to an area where I shouldn't have been in my truck, and a high tide took my truck, just about took my truck. So they had to get a, a record to get it out. And the thing was, is who was going to die? Basically, that was the thing that came to my mind. And sure enough, 2 weeks later, a real close to family member, a real close to the family, aged like around 14, actually died from a head aneurysm. And then so when that happened, and all that sequence like that, and then so it was like a warning to me, say, hey, you better pay attention when we're telling you. If not, just what happened. This is the very first time I was told a story like that. So, but again, people have to be aware. You have to listen to what they're telling you. because these spirits are, they're not joking around. They tell you these things for a certain reason, that they don't want you there, and you have to listen to that. So
And water and quartz is a big conductor for paranormal activity. It will amplify it. Everyone knows that quartz is in the ground. It has its own energy.
right.
And I believe that's one of the reasons why quartz amplifies paranormal activity. And water, when you're around water, it does that too. Only people can theorize that water does the same thing, because water in itself is a life giver. And I believe that's one of the reasons why water, areas of lakes and streams, creeks, rivers, they amplify that activity.
Even
So,
limestone. Limestone has a lot
oh
of
yeah,
Yeah,
limestone.
yeah.
oh, yeah.
Sure.
We got tons of that. As far as the water sources, there's creeks and streams, the rivers, the lakes, all that's all right there in my research area too, which is interesting. Because I mean, even if you go wandering off into the woods, venturing into the woods, you're gonna come across water up there too. There's creeks and streams. A lot of the creeks that come out of the mountainsides and stuff. I mean, the spring-fed streams and everything all throughout that whole area. I mean, so and like limestone. There's plenty of that. Because limestone. You know, in the streams. That's one thing I pay attention to, because I drink straight directly out of a lot of those streams. There's limestone. It's a natural purifier to the water. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, one thing that also for me to keep in mind and take note of. So,
The Scottish wild man was asking where we're all from.
somewhere over no, I'm from Virginia.
Texas, South Texas,
West Texas,
And
El Paso.
and
El
I'm from
Paso.
Harlan, Kentucky. Harlan County, Kentucky.
Well, actually, El
Whoop.
Paso was actually called El Paso del Norte. You know that?
I've heard that. I have heard that.
That was the name a long time ago for El Paso, the Paso to the passes to the north.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Baltimore, you'll have to teach Nikki a few things. She don't know. She just lives there. Not just joking. I'm just joking.
Yep. I've only lived in the Southwest all my life. No.
Hey, there's people here in Virginia that grew up here, were born and grew up here and raised here, and I mean, you'll ask people, "Oh, yeah, do you know where such and such?" Never heard of it. So where are you from? Here. It's like, okay, it's amazing. There's so many people that grew up here that don't know about the surrounding areas. They don't know that street. They don't know that road. They don't know where that lake is. But
one thing I noticed about when you guys always talk about counties, this county or that county, and
yeah.
But we don't do that in New Mexico or Arizona. We don't say, I'm going to Maricopa County tonight. We just say we're going to Phoenix, We don't, we're going up to Coconino County. No, we're going up to Flagstaff.
Well, Texas might be a little different. I don't know.
Are you just saying that because I said Harlan County, Kentucky?
Yeah, you guys talking counties, and I'm like, who cares about the counties?
Yeah, you're just picking at me. You're another Marcel is what it is.
Well, see, we do have counties here. Like, I'm in Rockingham.
You guys have dry counties, huh? Because it's all about the alcohol.
The what? Dry counties? No, there's alcohol everywhere up here.
Dry counties.
Unlike some states,
Harlan,
every store
itself here where I live at's dry.
Yeah.
But the city itself of Harlan is wet now. They voted for it to be wet. They could sell alcohol there.
Mm-hmm.
But the county itself, the rest of the county is dry.
I know some
except
states
for an area called Cumberland.
Okay. Yeah, like in Pennsylvania, it's like you can't just go into a regular store. Oh, I'm going to go buy me a case of beer. No, there's certain places like some of the restaurants, you could buy your beer from a restaurant and take it out of there. Or they have designated what they call distribution centers, which they're, a large store that sells beer by the case, and you could get your kegs. And it's weird. You can't just go into a regular convenience store like a 7-Eleven and buy beer.
Oh, you
I know that's
can't?
how it is in
You
Pennsylvania.
can't?
That's up in
See,
Pennsylvania.
that's weird. You can buy alcohol everywhere here in the Southwest.
That's how it is here in Virginia. Yeah, in Virginia you can go to almost any store and buy it. So even dollar stores sell beer now, beer and
Oh my
wine.
God. Yeah, we've got every store sells something.
Now, if you want regular like hard liquor, yeah, you have to go to a regular ABC store. You're not going to find hard liquor in a regular store around here. They have the ABC stores, yeah,
Unless you
to
buy
sell
it
the
in the
hard
hills.
stuff. So, yeah.
Like for
So-
hundreds of years in this area where I live, there's always been alcohol. Moonshine has been around, since the dawn of man, I believe, when you could realize that I could take this fruit, let it ferment, and get tanked on it. So, but you have to watch who you buy it from here in this area, because some of the old timers would run it through a radiator and not flush a radiator. And there is what was called a liquor blindness. They would drink the moonshine with that radiator cooling in there, and it will cause you to go blind.
Oh no.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that's poisonous too. Well,
Yes.
yeah, I mean, well, it would make us sick, but it would let an animal drink that, they'll die.
Yeah. So
So-
you can tell just what it will do for an animal. Just think what it would do to a human.
Yeah, exactly.
It would be bad. So, but now these days in these areas where you can purchase from people that have stills to this day, you can tell by the color of it. A light blue color is usually a good indication it's a good high proof of alcohol. I mean, you drink some of that and you're going to be tanked for sure.
Right. So, one thing I want to pull this back up here. The new Finding
No.
Bigfoot.
No.
Oh wow.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, that was made a long time ago. So
Yeah, it was a long time ago.
and this is the one that Ray Gardner did. This one. Yeah, I'm on the far left with a beard. And then there's Henry,
No.
May, Shane, and Fred. So yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, back when we used to be on that podcast show. So
Wow.
yeah.
Boy,
Good old times.
we're at 2 hours and 20 minutes.
Is that all? God.
I'm like,
It sounded like we
ready to get
just
off.
got started. Wow. Danny,
Well,
how many people are watching
Oh.
the show right now?
Well,
we
it's
dropped.
showing
I think.
it's showing a total of 19 right now. It was up to 30 something earlier, so for a
Wow.
while. Yeah. But
After the 2 hour mark, we start losing it.
yeah. Well, it's a Friday night. People probably go out
Yeah.
and everything. So yeah, I had to pay out a good chunk of money today, and more than I thought I had to. And I was like, crap. I thought I was gonna have a little extra to play with, but so yeah, it's basically a situation. So I
That's
gotta
life.
watch what
We did
I
too
got
today.
left after paying up. Yeah.
We spent a lot of
It's
money.
like, yeah, I had to get the wheel hub assembly. They were starting to get bad, so I went ahead, threw it in the shop, had it fixed. It cost me a decent chunk, but and then what else I had to do? No, not too much. A few miscellaneous things, typical stuff. Fill up my gas tank. So, so I'll probably go out and do a little bit of shopping tomorrow. I need to do some shopping, some grocery shopping. So, and then drive out to my parents, pick up the mail. So, yes, indeedy. Well, tell you what, we're going to get ready to come to a close here. Yeah, we're going a little longer than we have been because we end it around the 2 hour mark. So, Baltimore, is there anything you want to share with us before we go off?
No, I'm really looking forward to tomorrow, dealing with this program and everything like that. I'm kind of glad that Jenna's here. And I'm actually going to show her tomorrow about my little secrets about how Bigfoot travels down here in B County, how it makes itself so stealth. And
Right.
so we're actually going to try to put that together in a video, like that she could actually take it home with her. And because again, you don't people like I don't share my secrets just to anybody,
Right.
especially when you're down here. And then so what I want her to do is actually physically see what I see, and so like that more or less that it could make it be more easier to other people. Because the thing is, again, if you know how this creature moves, and then one of these days you're going to catch it on film, and that's one thing that I'm trying to do. And the area which it actually been crossing right now, I haven't put no cameras on there, but I will put some soon. But for right now, I'm just leaving it alone. It's just like hunters. If you're hunting for deer, if you throw certain stuff out there, the deer will know that, hey, this is not right here. So
Right.
we just have to play it just right.
Absolutely.
Hmm.
That's something I might be doing tomorrow if things work out in my favor. I haven't been out in the woods in a while. I need to get out there again. I really do. So I'm going to play that by ear. I do have a couple things I need to do tomorrow, so maybe I'll spend time out in the woods, then deal with everything else later. So if I do go out in the woods tomorrow, I mean, I do plan on spending a good part of my time out there, so doing some exploring and checking up on things. Since we've had some mild weather, I mean, the weather's been fluctuating as far as temperatures go. Um, so I'm going to see what's going on because we've had some comfortable weather. It's been cool today, mild so and so, but with the temperatures being comfortable, I mean, it keeps the wildlife moving. So I like to see what's going on out there. I need to get out
Now,
there and see if there's any changes or anything new. So,
now there's supposed to
yep.
be a full moon tonight. So
Yep, I already noticed it. I noticed it when we around 6 o'clock, five
yeah,
thirty,
and
6 o'clock. So
yeah, it's
yeah.
also about those full moons because that's when they're very active at night. So
Well, I'll tell you what. I definitely plan on because the last time I was out there, I have come across some impressions and everything. Nothing that was good enough to put a cast out there, but if I maybe I don't know, I'll carry it with me this time just in case because um, I am seriously going to be looking for tracks. I always do. I always do. I work the creek beds. That's one of the main spots I've always explored is around water sources, creek areas. Those anywhere that's a soft, clear area that may produce something like
mhm.
a track. Um, those are my favorite areas to look for, and that's a majority of where a lot of my tracks have been found. And I know others have collaborated with that. That's where they find their tracks at. Um, so I don't know. We'll see. If I get out there, I will be looking. So,
Sounds good.
and I take pictures with my phone. I got my camcorder. So guys, hopefully here in the near future, maybe I'll have a new field video to post. So we'll see how that goes. So,
Sounds good.
and Nikki, what about you? What you got going on?
I would like to invite everybody to my new YouTube channel called Sister Side Chat, where my sister and I talk about the paranormal, cryptid, family life, mystic healing, whatever we feel like. It's an hour-long
Mhm.
podcast every Sunday, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. So I'd really appreciate it if you'd come on over to the YouTube channel, Sister Side Chat, and sub us so that we can get going on this and I can start sharing a little more. It's a lot of fun. We just talk about whatever we want, and everybody can join in on the chat. And it's just a little fun thing that me and my sister are going to be doing.
Sounds good,
It
Nick.
is fun.
Awesome. Well, yeah. On a side note, when you two no 3 episodes so far, and I tell you what, I am very impressed with that. And the other thing, I really got to experience it more when you let me join in there last weekend.
Yeah, he became a sister. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I tell you what, the way you operate and the way you organize that, I like the platform. I like the layout. Because here on these podcasts that we're doing tonight, Bigfoot, different cryptids, and as we've done tonight, we talked a little paranormal. Um, but there's off the subject things that sometimes that pop up, and you just have the urge to want to talk about them, and it's like, no, you don't, you can't do that because
Yeah,
that's
get
not why
sidetracked.
people is right.
Well,
Because
this is all about the sidetrack. It's all about whatever your week had and where it takes you, you know. But we do have little segment parts, where I have the what did I call it now? The daily drive or the
oh yeah,
daily driving
and
report. So you can bitch
yeah,
about shitty drivers,
right. That, and then
And
you also had one of what, like, name something good that
oh,
happened to you.
your good
Yeah,
day. Yeah, your good
yeah,
good what did my sister that's my sister's thing. To tell about something good that happened in your week because we don't hear enough about the good stuff.
yeah.
And just a
Oh,
way to share.
well, while you're still discussing that, she's not here, but go ahead, name your sister's
Oh,
her
my
Etsy
sister,
site.
yeah, my sister has an Etsy store. It's called Mystic Healing 333 is where you can find it. And she sells everything from dream catchers to handmade. She makes handmade wire rings. She makes all kinds of medallions and charms, healing charms with crystals. What else? She has a bunch of white sage wraps, um, stuff
Are
like
the
that.
are the dream catchers made by Native American Indians or
Uh, I, you know what? She may be a Tiwa Indian. I'm not sure.
yeah? Because
Um, not my sister. Her partner is the one who's making them,
excellent,
and she might be. I
right?
never asked her, um,
Because
but they
we
are
have
handmade. But they're not a traditional sense.
yeah,
They're more made from basic designs and stuff like that. But
right, yeah.
uh,
Because we have a saying in the Native American uh, our network, and people come up there and say, "Well, my dream catcher didn't work." It goes, "Yeah, I wonder why." It goes, "Yeah,
oh,
because it was made in China." You know,
yeah,
you know,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
yeah,
you
yeah.
have to
No, these
purchase
were
a good dream
everything that.
catcher that'll work from Native Americans. I mean,
Yeah, um,
there's
all her goods. Most of them are there. Well, I think all of them right now. They're all handmade. Everything on the
right.
site, so they were made from her,
Yeah, and
her and my sister.
getting with the dream catchers and stuff like that, and I'm going to touch a little bit on it because uh, what I did sometimes with mine is for special dream catcher for special people and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
I would actually have put pieces of my hair in it, or some personal stuff on it, even stuff
Mm-hmm.
like with my regalia on it,
Mm.
making sure that that this is a special dream catcher. Nobody else. This is yours for years to keep,
Oh,
and
interesting.
it will not be passed down or sold or
Mm-hmm.
nothing like that. This is basically a real special
Mm-hmm.
gift for somebody,
Mm.
because I just don't put my hair or anything like that on a dream catcher as long if it was a very special person. Like
Mm-hmm.
I know that it would be protected and shared. And then but again, there's people that actually put their heart and soul into making dream catchers, because the dream catchers that I make, all that I made, I actually initial mine, and
Mm.
like I
Uh-huh.
know where it actually came from, and just by looking at the symbols that are actually on there, and say, hey, Baltimore, meet this. So
Right. Let me see if I can pull up real quick. Mystic Healings. Here we go.
Hmm.
Shop now. Uh,
Joni Lynn Michalski. She said, "Hello, sorry I missed you." It's all right. Feel free to go ahead and watch this when it's over. It'll be once we end this. It takes probably about 20 minutes, roughly, give or take, for it to display,
well, I don't
refresh.
know if you'll be able to see. Like they're decorations.
Right.
They're not really meant for. I mean, they're for whatever you want, but I don't know if
Right.
they're doing any kind of prayers on them or anything like that.
Right.
So,
Here, Nikki,
Right.
if you want to show it again, I
oh
enlarge your screen.
shoot, I just lost it. Hold on.
I like your lights in the background, Nikki. That looks real
That's
good.
Oh,
That
sweet.
adds
Yeah.
to the
thank
ambience
you.
and stuff.
Actually, I bought some holders because they keep falling down. So I have
Well,
to. I'm
see,
gonna redo my little area here.
and if you notice behind her, when she's done with the podcast, she's got to do is walk behind her to get dressed. So,
Yeah, that's my bedroom back there. This is my little studio. My little studio. Okay, hold on. Found it finally.
yeah, I forgot that I could do this. I can make it look like just throw one person up there, making it look like it's just one person on the show, and the rest are
There's
Oh,
calling. Oh yeah,
that's sweet. Yeah. Oh, that's sweet.
I bought an awesome one. She made one with the picture of a tree of life, which is my thing, the tree of life. Because I mean, I
yeah.
have have it on. I have tree of lives all over my house. And but I bought it as soon as she posted, as soon as she had it on there.
Oh,
Yeah.
Um,
tomorrow I'll have to get you to make me a dream catcher.
Sure. And the thing is, again, Jimmy, is let's say, for example, if I make a dream catcher for you, and the dream catcher is going to be, a little bit about Jimmy, yeah, on that. Oh, that's sweet.
That's cool.
Yeah.
the all-seeing eye.
Yeah.
My sister made that one.
Wow.
Um, so there's a bunch of little stuff on there. They just got started, so they are just doing um getting their stock all up. And then wire rings is another big one they're doing.
Oh, wow.
Cool. I like those. Yeah.
Those are awesome.
So yeah, I talk to my sister all the time, and we're talking and she's sitting there doing her stuff, making it.
Hey, Jimmy, just send me your address. I'll be happy to send you one. Is it, I'd like to start making.
Awesome. Yeah, I'll be sure to send it to you.
Sound
I'll
good.
call you sometime tomorrow evening after you've that way you can let me know on what happens tomorrow.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
very interested to know what
yeah,
goes
because
on.
the thing is, again, I got to tell you this: the place that we're going to is this certain person. He cooks barbecue every like out of the week, maybe like around 3 or 4 times out of the week. He's always cooking barbecue outside with big old pits. And then so the smell as soon as you come to his place, you can smell barbecue cooking, and the South Texas barbecue is just amazing, and that's all you smell coming in.
Mhm.
And then and I'm pretty sure, and I'm pretty sure that he's actually smelling this cooked meat. And there's actually sometimes too he will actually leave stuff left over on the grill and stuff.
Yeah.
So again, Bigfoot has always been an opportunist. Native
and
American.
those
Yeah.
and those smells travel a long ways because, well, so like where I work, where the shop is, if I'm outside in the yard doing whatever, I always smell barbecue. Someone's cooking out. I said because where our shop is, it's in the middle of an industrial park.
Hmm.
Well, when I was what was it yesterday when I was leaving work the other day when I was going up I was going up the other end where I normally the opposite from where I normally head out. But anyway, I was going by and I just so happened to look at this one warehouse up the road. I just happened to look out. It got this big, massive grill outside. It's one, the handmade one. And I'm looking. There's two guys standing on the side of it, and it's like it looks like how they have all this meat and steaks or whatever all over. I said, no wonder. I said, what the heck? I said, that's where the smell is always coming from. I thought it was the guys next to us, but but nah, it was like three warehouses up from us. The guys out in their lot cooking up a storm. I
Yeah.
was like, man, I said, we need to start doing that.
Now here in South
So,
Texas, we cook a lot with mesquite. So there's
yeah.
nothing like
Oh,
the
I do
smell of
too.
mesquite. God,
Yeah,
mesquite.
I love
Mm.
that stuff. Yeah. But I tell you, it's a good flavor during the summertime. If you go into a Dollar General, or I'm sure you can get them at Walmart where they have their cookout stuff at. It's a bag of the wood chips, the Jack
Right.
Daniels wood chips. Oh my goodness! Yeah, use cooking that like if you're using a charcoal grill. I love
Right.
using a charcoal grill. Throw them in there, and the flavor gets into your meat. I
Right.
guarantee you will taste every bit of that flavor in the meat just from it being blended in with the charcoal. So some good stuff.
There's some people that actually cook with the Dr. Pepper
Yeah.
and
Oh
actually
yeah.
Okay.
soak stuff with Dr. Pepper and do that.
Mhm.
Guys, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go to sleep. I got a big day ahead of me tomorrow. I got Miss Jenna here in town, so I got a big day tomorrow.
Okay. Have a
Oh,
good
Good
one.
great.
night,
Thank you very
Baltimore.
much for
Have a good
having me.
one, brother.
All righty. Yep. Everybody have a good night.
Absolutely.
Bye.
Night.
You too. All right. Well, one thing I know we were talking about food. One thing I wanted to add real quick. But a couple weeks ago, I had these wings, regular, raw wings, and um, I took them out. I soaked them overnight, but I soaked them in beer. I made a post about it, and I use Miller Genuine Draft, and it's my favorite domestic beer. So yeah, there wasn't a lot of wings in the package, but I put them all in a Tupperware bowl, filled them up with the beer, and let them soak in there overnight. And when I came back from work the next day, I was like, all right. I said, they've been in here all this time, so I took them out, laid them on the whatever I was cooking them in the oven. I seasoned them with seasoning of my choice and put a light dash of garlic on it, dash garlic powder, and had the oven preset, cooked them for about 45 minutes, and they came out perfect. I mean, and the skins were nice and crisp. I mean, because I love a good crispy skin on chicken, and and then every bite you take, you could taste the beer in it. I mean, the flavor of the beer in every bite. It was awesome. Yeah.
I like fixing
So
my steaks like that with usually just a Budweiser or a Michelob. I mean, it makes the flavor so much better. I think.
nice. I never tried. I can't say I've ever tried with like those kind of like steaks or anything. I'll have to experiment. Do you? Oh,
Oh
you
yeah, you
soak the
gotta
steaks in
try it.
it?
You'll love it. I have
Yeah.
soaked them, but usually I'll just like fry it in in a Budweiser or something, some type of beer like that, and it like
Okay.
so much better, so much better. You got to try it.
I'll definitely have to do that. I'm always up for experimenting with food. I sometimes I do things a lot and I experiment, especially when I go camping. That's one of my times I really experiment when I go camping. I was like, I usually just throw stuff together, stuff that I like, and make combinations with certain foods. And that's where I've actually developed a lot of different things I do. I mean, I don't always do them at home, but every now and then I'll get a craving if I have these certain ingredients. I was like, okay, this is what I'm going to do with what I got. So, you know,
Yeah.
you know.
Awesome.
So
Anything from you, Jimmy? Your
yeah,
radio
Nick's
Me and
show?
trying to rush
Marcel's
this. Hard.
we're doing a show tomorrow night at Marcella's. We're actually going to do continue our haunted collection series that we started.
Hmm.
And we'll have a couple of haunted items tomorrow night to talk about and stuff. And so everybody be sure to look out for that.
Cool.
Sweet.
Cool.
And
I'm ready
we did
to
some
go.
we did some trivia tonight. I'll make an announcement later. I think we're gonna do this again. I mean, we're gonna go live again next Friday, but I don't know if I'm gonna do the trivia Friday. But we definitely will be doing trivia again in sometime in the future. So I got my list of the winners, and since Wild Scottish Wild Man said he was just doing it for fun, he said give it to Bobcat Wonk, and if Bobcat Wonk can get his butt down here, yes, he will have
ticket to come in.
So
Cool.
I am going to be in Arizona next week, so I might come on from Flagstaff.
Oh, okay. Is that the area where they consider it the Four Corners, or that's something totally different?
No,
Oh,
no.
okay, okay. All right. I have.
That's further east. That's way east.
Oh,
It's
gotcha.
smack dab in the middle, but north, but below the Grand Canyon.
Oh, okay. Cool. Well, all right. Sounds like a plan. And you guys have a good night. Thank you guys for being on here. And
Good night, everybody.
as of right
Bye,
now,
guys.